Hello YouTube and welcome back to Starsector. So I've been playing the new update and I have to say that I am quite impressed with the new added content. This stream will contain spoilers. We are very well into the game and we are quite established now. I can go over what has happened in the past few hours. Alright, so first of all, we have 3 colonies. So this colony, let me just show on the star map. Okay, so the core worlds is here, right? Sorry, let me just, okay. So the core worlds is here and we found this very nice system where there's this 75% hazard rating Terran world. So yeah, and the best thing about this colony is that it had a cryo sleeper. So the cryo sleeper is in this system, I believe. Yup, here. No, not this one. Is it this one? It's one of these. Domain cryo sleeper. It has to be one of these somewhere. Well, it's like here somewhere. That's interesting. Was it here? Oh, here it is. Yeah. So there's a cryo sleeper here. So this cryo sleeper is just right next to our system. So we got a really big bonus early on in the colony where whoops, let me just navigate back to this. Yeah, so we got a really big boost. I mean, I uninstalled it because it was giving us a lot of upkeep, so I removed it. So yeah, it's already a full-size colony and we have quite a lot of bonuses here. We have the Luddic majority bonus. This will be enabled if you have no heavy industry, so you cannot get any of these industries, otherwise you will lose it. So you can only do light industry and farming, right? But we want to do farming here because we have we have farmland and then light industry. Well, we couldn't really do these things early on because we wanted the Luddic majority, right? And you retain this bonus even after the colony is at a full size. I believe if you build other industry types you will lose it, so they can only allow farming and light industry. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're making so much money from farming. We are like the top, well, we are like almost the top producer. We're 12% market share here, but really like that doesn't really matter. What matters is the income, right? So you can take a look, you see our exports here. We have most of it is coming from the drugs, which is from our light industry, and the food which we're making here. So the light industry is producing drugs. Not very ethical, but yeah, I mean that's what it does. So we've installed this biofactory embryo, which increases the production. So I think we're the top producer of space drugs. A lot of RimWorld similarities, drugs, ships and stuff like that. Yeah, but we are the #1 producer of space drugs. Now we've also, in this system, we also have another colony right here, right beside us. The reason why is this world is actually hot. So because it's hot, we can install the this cryo arithmetic engine. Yeah, you can't see it now, but you can see it down here. So this increases the size of the fleets by 25%. It's a sizable bonus. So it was very difficult to get this colony going because it had a 200% hazard rating, but now it's profitable. We're just doing all the heavy industry stuff here. Yeah, because it has ore and yeah, like thin atmosphere, so we're just doing all this stuff here. But yeah, I wanted to do all the industry away from the Luddic majority one. The Luddic majority bonus only is applicable for habitable worlds as well. But then I realized So this system doesn't have a gate, right? It doesn't have a gate. It does have two stable points. We got this wormhole terminus all the way at Limbo. So we went to Limbo and then we got the terminus and we brought back the gate hauler. So you can see the gate hauler is in our system right now. I mean, it's literally right there on the screen. So we haven't deployed this gate. As far as I know, you can only deploy it once and then that's it. So you can only get to choose one system where you can deploy this gate. Yeah, we haven't decided on that yet. But then I realized after, you know, exploring almost the entire sector, you can see like all of these planets have been surveyed, all the systems have been surveyed. The only pocket of systems left are the ones here, right? Everything along the edges have been surveyed, every single thing. We've been quite busy going to every single planet and in every single system and surveying everything, collecting all the loot, all the blueprints and stuff. So there's still quite a lot of blueprints that I don't have, but let me just talk about where I actually want to settle like my main base. So this system has a gate, right? And it also has a jungle world which only has 125% hazard rating, right? It's very far away. It's all the way here at the top left of the map, but it has a gate. And this is a big deal because it allows us to travel everywhere that has these gates, right? So we can literally jump all the way here in just like a moment's notice. I mean, it'll consume a ton of fuel, but like the amount of fuel that it takes to travel all the way there is a lot higher than 3000. So there's instant travel and we can go to the core worlds and we can also farm remnants. So this system has a remnant nexus. It doesn't show here, but it does have a remnant nexus, like a full nexus. So what we can do is we can jump in this gate, fight all those, and then just get alpha cores, right? So we don't want to kill this nexus. Anyway, there's nothing really interesting here. All these planets are like really, I mean, there's nothing interesting about them. So we're not gonna destroy the nexus. We're just gonna farm stuff. I also have been exploring. So here's the spoilers part, right? You've been warned, right? I've been exploring this area, which is the Abyss, and we've actually fought Abyss horrors. We are going to farm some Abyss stuff today. You can see like I already have some items here that I got from the Abyss, but I haven't really touched those hull mods and those weapons yet. I only just like, you know, started exploring that. But I came up with a pretty good strategy on how to explore the Abyss. So in the Abyss, you travel very slowly, right? Cause like there's abyssal space, so you basically travel at a very slow pace. But what I've done is I've actually marked out those systems that are inside this space, so you can't actually see them on the map, right? You can't actually zoom in on this system in the map. Actually you can see it on this screen, but you won't be able to see it like, you know, on the white screen, because like it just doesn't show up here. So what I did was I added markers so that I know where they are and I can travel towards them. Now that doesn't really matter, because what matters is that we find a system where there's a stable point, and then we can deploy like the wormhole there so that we can instantly travel there. So right now the stable point is in this system, which is the original system for the wormhole. We didn't remove it yet, so it's just acting like a gate right now, where we can go to the Abyss and we can farm things. You cannot set up colonies in the Abyss, so like they are completely isolated from the this entire map. So you can't actually set up a colony. Otherwise, like, you know, you can set up a base there and you can resupply fuel and just keep exploring, right? But this is pretty much as close as we can get to like a mobile base where we can just explore the Abyss and just keep farming stuff. I also got a lot of automated ships here. You can see they are not as modded yet, but they're just a bunch of glimmers with beta cores. They're not fully integrated, but they're just acting as our disposable meat shield that we can throw at enemies and capture points. And yeah, I've been spending a lot of time actually just experimenting with the conquest. There seems to be some really funny thing going on. So you would want to put like, I think in the previous streams, you want to put like ion beams or graviton beams on the medium energy mounts. But from what I see, right, the AI really loves to use this at the maximum range, and they don't really use the Mjolnir cannons. Yeah, and I think someone mentioned that this one is also very flux hungry, but to be honest, most of the time the ship will only be firing on one side. You can save flux. I mean, you can save points as well by removing one side and focusing on this side. But there's a problem with this. So the problem with this is that if you only have the weapons on one side, let me just like quickly demonstrate this. Let me just spawn like another endless ships to demonstrate this. Right. So imagine this is an enemy, right? You don't want your engines to face the enemy. So if I'm firing at a ship on the left, right? Because my weapon's on the left side and the ship is on the left, my engines will be facing the enemy. I mean, this is not a very good example, but you kind of get the idea, right? So let's say I'm fighting like, you know, a bunch of remnants or something, or like, I mean, just any general enemy. I'm facing this way, right? My engines are facing the enemy, and that's very bad. You don't really want your engines to face the enemy because your engines are vulnerable points. So having both sides with weapons that can shoot at enemies it has advantages. You save ordnance points and you save flux by putting all of your main guns on one side. But you run the risk of, you know, exposing your engines or orientating your ship in a way that's not advantageous to you, right? I mean, the ship can move backward and forward, no problem. It's just that your orientation is not ideal if you're fighting enemies like this. So I prefer to have the ship symmetrical so that the AI can decide exactly where it wants to position itself. But yeah, I mean that you can just like work on, like, you can just do this, right? I'm not at my base now. I need to go to my base so that I can demonstrate some builds here. Yeah, my system is really busy. Okay, so you can go for a build like this where you just put, you know, devastator cannons here, right? These are point defense weapons. They will kill fighters that try to surround your ship. And then you can have this side firing at the enemy. Sure, that works. But yeah, you run the risk of exposing your engines to enemies that you don't want to, right? Because this entire back, I don't have any PD weapons. And I feel like putting PDs here at the back is really quite of a waste of points, because generally you don't really use them. So yeah, I personally prefer like symmetrical builds. You can save quite a lot of points by removing these and focusing on just one side of the ship. Another reason why symmetrical builds on the Conquest are advantageous is because if your armor is stripped off on one side, the AI will use the other side to fight the enemy. That does happen in combat sometimes. Sometimes an onslaught chases your Conquest and then you lose like entire armor on one side, but you can switch the other side and fight for the remainder of the battle. So like those are some things you can think about when trying to build this. There's no right way and stuff. Everything has trade-offs, right? Everything has trade-offs. So I also tried many weapons over the course of many bounties with this, and right now I'm just going with a pure ballistic setup. Now some people will say like, oh, you really want to use the missile slots. I kind of agree. Like there are some missiles that are really strong, like the squalls are just really strong against like onslaughts, especially if they're fighting onslaughts. But against many enemies, like especially if they have very good point defense, the missiles won't really be doing much. Yeah. So, and a lot of them get wasted and they're quite expensive as well. Like everything here is like 20 points and above. Everything up here except for the locust requires you to get ECCM. Actually, let me just pick up one of the conquests here that I've already built. Okay, it's not on this planet apparently. Wait, what? Oh yeah, the military wall is here. Okay. This is like the non-military stuff. So let me just talk a bit about the builds. And the nice thing is that the simulator now is a lot better in the update, so you can just like test a lot of things. But yeah, let me just quickly pick one of these up. Oh, I got rid of that conquest that has the. Right. Yeah, let's just use this guy as an example. So I've tried quite a lot of weapons on this. Why do I not have the weapons here? Do I not have the weapons here? No, this is the Omega one. Right, this is the military one. My apologies. Yeah, this one contains all the weapons except the Omega ones. Because if I put Omega weapons here, I can't find them. Okay, so let's talk a bit about. So if you're gonna use missiles, right, you might as well use. You need to get expanded missile racks, right? And as modding this is a bit controversial because you lose like 20% of your rate of fire. The whole point of missiles is to saturate the enemy with a large number of entities that they cannot, keep up with the amount of point defense that they have. So like you overwhelm their point defense, right? That's the whole point of, that's why hurricanes are so good, because they have 7 missiles like at once and the enemy just can't shoot down all the missiles. So as modding expanded missile racks here is you do save a lot of points because it's 30 points, but it also means that your missiles fire slower. Like this is really bad for things like the Squall, where the missiles are firing very slowly and the enemy can actually shoot most of them down. So, but you kind of need expanded missile racks if you're gonna put missiles on the Conquest, right? Otherwise, like why would you not get this? This is like pretty no-brainer, right? Getting an extra 15 ammo for the Hydra is a pretty big deal in long fights. The Hydra is also a really good weapon against frigates. It just absolutely melts like anything that's smaller than a frigate. I mean, we can load up some battles to show this. But yeah, so these two are already gonna consume 40 points, and if you add expanded missile racks, that's gonna be 30 points. That's a very expensive 70 points already spent on missiles. And like, to be honest, half of the time most of the missiles aren't gonna be doing much. Like they're gonna get shot down, or they're just gonna get wasted in, like they're just gonna fly into empty space and hit nothing because the enemy moves away. It does happen in the battles, especially if you fire these at like, small targets like frigates. They can easily fly away and the missiles just won't do anything. So you're not really guaranteed that this 70 ordnance points will be very useful. Sometimes, like even if you run the Hurricane against remnants, right, they're gonna like dodge the missile completely because remnants are really fast. And they also have, I mean, some of them will get completely blocked by shields as well, and they just dissipate and they don't really do much. So yeah, but they are still pretty strong, right? If you have like lots of ships and like if you have 5 conquests and they all have missiles, like they can easily overwhelm like enemy, flanks and positions. But yeah, there's also something weird that I noticed about the AI. So I'm not sure if it's my weapon group setup, but when you have missiles and you have weapons here, right, it seems like they can't really fire simultaneously, as in they should be able to fire simultaneously and together, but for some reason it doesn't always seem like that. Like, let's just load up another enemy conquest here. Like, for some reason the AI will just keep firing the missiles, but then they don't fire the guns. I mean in this case, like, we can just check very quickly whether it's in range actually. Like, yeah, so you can see that the Gauss cannons are okay. They're not in range. All right, but I did notice in certain fights, maybe because the missiles are in one group and the guns are in another group, they don't seem to be able to shoot together. And the main problem with this is, like, you can see that the AI doesn't want to get closer to use the Gauss cannons. it's kind of like staying at a healthy range to fire the missiles. This is something that I noticed as well, where you actually want the ship to go a bit closer to fire the Gauss cannon. The Gauss is gonna outrange this guy anyway. He's only using Mjolnirs, so our Gauss cannons outrange him, but the AI is not really using the best position in this fight. It's just like staying back and not really, and just firing its missiles. It's not really getting in range and using the Gauss cannons. I mean, now it is, but it should have been doing this a lot earlier. So yeah, they're not really doing much at this point. Like, and the thing is, like, you can see that the AI, the way it angles the ship, it angles it in a way such that the missiles have, like, you know, it's prioritizing the way the missiles hit this ship. But these cannons currently can't hit the enemy. My point is, like, sometimes it positions itself in a way that the weapon systems on the sides can't actually hit the enemy ship. So it's not really ideal. Now, this doesn't really happen when, you know, there's only Gauss cannons here. If there's only Gauss cannons, right, the AI would actually angle the ship such in a way that it will always be able to fire these weapons. Yeah, so it will always prioritize the weapons here because, like, it's the only weapon system that it has. But for example, like, if I use a graviton or even an ion, let's just say I use a graviton beam, right? Sometimes the graviton beam will, like, let me just load up a ally here so that I can show this. Yeah, I can just load up an ally ship. Then you can actually fire your ally ship as well. So let me just give a very good example. You can also damage them, like, you know, it actually deals damage there. So putting gravitons or ion beams on the Conquest is a good idea, right? But then the problem is, so sometimes it does things like this, right? So you can see the ion beam is able to hit the ship like this, right? It can hit this way. And the ion beam has a range of 1000. So it's pretty long range. So most of the and the most important thing is it's at the front of the ship. So the Conquest kind of like prioritizes this weapon system before everything else because it's at the front of the ship. It's the one that it thinks has the longest range. So it does this, right? But the cannons can't actually, you see, the cannons can't actually reach the ship. The angle is at a very bad position where it can't actually fire at the enemy ship. So I keep noticing this in fights where the Conquest really likes to do this. It really likes to angle itself like this, right? Because there is a weapon system in the very front of the ship that allows it to do this, and then it just kind of does this, right? And with missiles, it's also very apparent because the missiles are at the front, and it likes to angle itself at the enemy where the missiles, you want the missiles that have the shortest distance, right, to the enemy. So it kind of does this, but the weapons can't fire at the enemy. So this is like one of the, I guess like the negative things about having this setup. So having weapons here, long range weapons here or missiles here, kind of reduces the usage of its ballistics, which is a bit of a issue really. Like, you really want to use the ballistic weapons on the Conquest. Like, it's built for you to use these. If you have like weapons like, say, the Festus, they're just sitting there doing nothing, it kind of defeats the purpose of this ship. You might as well just run a, you know, like a Griffin or like a Dominator that can just do the exact same thing as what it's doing now, which is just using 2 missiles and 2 medium slots. You're not really utilizing these weapons. So that's like one issue that I have with the missile loadouts, right? And not to mention the extremely high ordnance points cost. This is 70 ordnance points. If you go for Hurricanes, it's gonna like be 80. That's a lot, right? Because you kind of have to use expanded missile racks. You'll be just dumb to not use this, right? It doubles your missile capacity. It's a no-brainer to get this if you're running missiles. Yeah, because you really want to lean in heavily in what you're trying to like build it for, right? Like if you're building a Gauss setup, like you don't really need like, you know, extended shields or whatever. You're probably not gonna use your shields because you're gonna be like at long range and you're just gonna snipe enemies. So you kind of want to lean heavily in what you're going for, right? Like being a jack of all trades doesn't help you at all. Like, yeah, you just want to focus on one niche and lean heavily in it. If you want to go, you know, full missiles, right? Let's say you're going missiles here, then it kind of makes sense to, and you're getting expanded missile racks, you kind of have to use these points as well. Otherwise, it's just wasting, you know, it's just wasting damage. You're wasting your damage potential. Like you can put a bunch of, what's a good missile here? Like, I mean, you can put like sables or like even dragon fires and stuff. Like you want to use missiles in this slot. That's my point, right? It's a bit funny if you don't use them, if you have expanded missile racks, cause like why not? Just like, yeah, some of these are really good, right? Like you can put a bunch of gorgons at the back. This will help like deal with frigates and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really like the fact that the medium energy slot, first of all, it doesn't really have a lot of good options. Like, I mean, gravitons are fine, right? But it runs in the same problem as like what I demonstrated just now, where the ship just doesn't have the right angle to use its ballistics. Yeah, like, and against like other conquests, especially the Persian League ones that fire hydras at you, I mean, I don't really like the heavy burst laser, but it does a good job at shooting down like enemy missiles. I could just show it here very quickly. You can also go like long range point defense weapons, but I mean, for the medium slots, the only good point defense, well, the only available point defense weapon is this one, right? The problem with charge based weapons on the Conquest is that sometimes the left side will run out of charges and then it will turn around and use the right side. Why is that a problem? Because when it's turning, it can't fire its ballistics, right? So that's like another issue. I can just load up one very quick loadout just to show like this burst setup is pretty good against like enemy missiles and stuff. Alright, so we're fighting the Persian League. Right, they really love hydras, the Persian League. Their conquests are fitted out with hydras, yeah. Hydras, and they use like this red missile as well. I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, but you can see that these burst lasers do a pretty okay job at shooting them down. Like there are some that will make it through, but most of them get shot down. But the problem is that this is a lot of honors points used in point defense. But they do pretty okay. They shoot down fighters quite well as well. But yeah, that's why I kind of like, I'm trying this build out. I'm trying this build right now, the one that doesn't have any offensive weapons in these slots, so that it doesn't run into the issue of like you can't fire your ballistics. The good thing about getting rid of these, right, is means that I can max out my flux and almost max out my capacitor, so it has a lot of flux and is able to fire all of these weapons. But yeah, so anyways, about that small little rant about the Conquest, I feel like it's such an interesting ship still. But definitely does have these weaknesses. The shield is really not that great on this ship. Like the default shield capacity is like really poor. Where is it? Do I not have the lock for this? Oh, what? It should be here, right? Conquest. I have this blueprint here. So the default shield flux per damage is 1.4. That is absolutely horrible. Like, it's so terrible. Like, versus an onslaught. I mean, let's just show this versus like an onslaught. We're gonna go with a 14th Multi battle group here. Like this guy already has very close to maximum capacity. It has hardened shields, but you can just see like how quickly the shield just like rises. It's not a very, the shield is, I mean, they made it pretty intentional that the ship is not great for tanking, but when an enemy burn drives like that, look at the flux. It's very close to overloading. In fact, it's gonna overload. Like if the onslaught kept going. Yeah, I mean at this point it's like super vulnerable, right? Any frigate or enemy destroyer that attacks it, it's just gonna overload and it'll be a sitting duck. So it's not very good against like enemies with like burn drives or phase skimmers that can just get close and overwhelm the shields. Yeah, so like in really like, you know, fighting against really tough enemies like remnants, it kind of struggles against like novas as well as like radiants, because they can get in really close and they can fire all their weapons like in a huge burst, and then this guy will just get overloaded. So yeah, not very good, but it does the role that this does is like it basically kills anything that's less than a capital. Like anything that's a cruiser or destroyer will just get absolutely destroyed by the conquest. Yeah, like against capital ships, it struggles a bit. It needs support. Yeah, anyway, so enough about that. We can just go and do some farming now for threat, right? So let's go for a loadout here. So one thing about the threat, right, is that they are really weak against this guy. The Onslaught Mark 1. They are like super weak. Super weak. Paragons actually struggle against them, even though like the damage output of these guys are insane. But they really do struggle against the threat. They can win fights against the Shrouded Dwellers and stuff. You'll see. Okay, so let's get rid of the Conquest, because they're not really good for those kind of fights. You kind of need a ship that is either really tanky or like just, I mean this Onslaught Mark 1 is just in a category of its own, really. It's so tanky. Like it has these things on the side you see now, they are actually hull. They are armor plates, but they are actually hull, so they have their own individual health pool. So it means that if you go for the hull skills, right, like look at some of these skills, reduce damage to hull taken, it means that these plates last a lot longer in combat, and they also get repaired if you have combat endurance, because combat endurance will repair the hull. So it's pretty broken, really. And if you go for like reinforced bulkheads, you literally almost double the hull that this ship has. It's crazy good. Where is it now? Blast doors. Yeah, I have blast doors already. Reinforced starts with R, right? Yeah, this one. So you really want to go for reinforced bulkheads, because that just doubles your, like almost doubles your hull, your effective health. We went for expanded magazines because these adjudicators are really stupid broken. They are like so strong. They 3-shot, 4-shot cruisers. It's crazy good. And they are charge based, right? So they have a max ammo of 20 and they have a very long seconds per reload. So getting expanded magazines as modded means that the charges regenerate faster. The ship can store more charges so that it can fire like a huge burst when it fights enemies. We went for auxiliary thrusters because actually it was a bad idea to S-mod this. I shouldn't have S-modded this. You should definitely use this hull mod. Just don't S-mod it, but you should just use the auxiliary thrusters, because the main problem with this ship is how fast it can turn to delete enemies. Like it's limited by how fast it can turn at enemies and fire these weapons, because these are like fixed weapons. Yeah, we don't really need to, like, you'll see why we don't need to fill these slots, because this ship is so flux hungry. Like firing these guns already is like pretty close to overfluxing itself. So we went for the Storm Needler because the Storm Needler is just a really strong like anti-shield weapon at the front. I mean, this is a pretty standard like onslaught loadout. You put Devastators at the sides to defend against fighters and missiles and everything. And everything is just focused on the front. Then we went for Insulator Engine Assembly. I haven't really had a situation where this flamed out, but I never tried using this without Insulator Engine Assembly because I'm not sure if the engines can actually flame out. But anyways, we just went with, you know, like Insulator Engine Assembly because it's very vulnerable at the back. But I guess I'm not sure if it actually flames out. If it doesn't really flame out that often, you probably don't need to S-mod this. You probably were better off S-modding the flux distributor because man, this guy really needs like flux. It really needs to dissipate the flux. It's so hungry for flux. And there'll be instances in battle where this guy is actually maxed out in flux and he can't actually fire more of his weapons because it doesn't have any flux capacity left. But yeah, these are really strong on all the new enemies which we're gonna fight right now. So we're gonna bring the Glimmers just to capture points, but we're really gonna use our two onslaughts here to do the farming. So we're gonna bring an Atlas to carry supplies, and then we have we have two tankers here. Maybe we can bring a third one, but I think this should be fine. Because we have a wormhole that travels there, we shouldn't be running into any logistical problems. And then we have 4 tugs because that will allow ships that have 7 burn to get level 20 burn speed in normal space, but in abyssal space it doesn't really do much. Yeah, they don't really do much actually. But we'll still bring them along. Also the Anubis, I kind of figured out that the Anubis really is like a mobile point defense platform, and it absolutely destroys frigates. Like frigates just get deleted by this thing. Like what I've done is mounted paladins here, and then we went for expanded max because the paladins benefit from max charges and the charge regeneration. And then advanced turret gyros is just basically it's a must for almost every single ship in the game right now. It's the amount of damage output that it benefits for capitals and cruisers is just way too high to pass up. Being able to deal like 25 extra damage to a frigate is insane. Like most of the time your capital ships may be busy fighting frigates, and the faster you delete them, it means that you can get rid of the escorts for like the really dangerous enemies. And then we went for advanced optics, so this just makes our paladins longer range, as well as integrated targeting unit makes the range even longer. But yeah, we didn't really do much for the medium mounts. I guess you can put like some PD weapons. This ship really does like PD, so we also went integrated point defense here, and then we just added like a bunch of tridents. So depending on what fighter you choose, right, it increases the ordnance point deployment points of this ship. If we remove the fighters, it actually only costs 19 points to deploy. Yeah, so the type of fighter that you pick here is important because it will drive out your deployment point cost. And we added this converted hangar because it's basically a free fighter base. So you can see here it doesn't have any of the penalties that a converted hangar would have. What else about this ship? Yeah, I think honestly you really just want to spend as much points in the dissipation as well, because when it's using the temporal shell, it does generate quite a lot of dissipation. And then our glimmers are just basically like tanks, to be honest. They're just really annoying enemies that just like can take a lot of damage. They have hardened shields. They have only like 0.33 shield flux per damage, so they're really small and they're really tanky. They're just there to soak damage and to distract enemies. They're not very good. Sometimes they get killed because there's reckless AI after all. But their peak performance time is 600. It's just so good to pass up, right? Like the Omens only have 300 something. I mean, you can just take a look at the Omen here. I mean, regular human ships only have 270. If I have an officer for this, I guess it goes up to about 300, but even then, it's still 420. It's still nowhere near compared to 600. 600 is just so good. This Glimmer, by the time it starts to lose combat readiness, the fight is already like over. This is how good like automated ships are, and they can match the capitals as well. Capitals have 780 peak performance time, so it's very close to like the capital ship operating range. But yeah, also they have all of them have AI cores, so they are all officers. So like when we fight battles, we automatically get a large amount of the deployment points prioritized to us. Yeah, just like these guys are just like they die sometimes, but it's fine because our character has the skill that allows us to, you know, always recover these ships. Alright, I think that's enough discussion about the fleet. We're gonna bring just one Paragon and then 2 of these onslaughts to go farming. Let's go farm some threat stuff. So yeah, let's just stock up on supplies, and actually supplies not really gonna be a problem when we're fighting these the what's it called again, the fragments. They actually drop a lot of supplies after the battle, but I mean we'll just bring some just in case. Do we want to bring in the Nubis? I think this is fine. Let's just stick with, we can bring one. I mean honestly the Conquest is useless at this point. But yeah, we'll just take the Conquest because it fills up the 240. These 2 ships are just mainly gonna carry everything. Okay, let's go. Let's go and farm some super redacted. Super redacted. We can put the rest of our weapons here. Yeah, don't need these. And then try to get rid of as much space as possible. So yeah, we got a lot of AI cores. I haven't been using the AI cores cause why? Cause I'm dumb. Actually, you do want to use the AI cores. You really want to use the AI cores in your colonies. They are so good. But the problem is that if you use them early, you get hegemony here. You get hegemony inspections, and what's another thing that you get? Nah, it's just hegemony. Honestly, they're not really that problematic. We've already dealt with the pirates, we've dealt with the Luddic Path, we've dealt with the Persian League. Almost every crisis is done. Yeah, the Luddic Church. The only thing that's left is the hegemony, but I'm saving that for like a special occasion. I mean, there's no problem. We can just destroy. We can literally destroy all the factions right now with the amount of firepower and ships that we have. Yeah. So let's bring these with us because we can make. You'll see what they're used for later. We're just gonna put everything else that we don't need. I don't think we need this as well. We can just put some of it there. Yeah, we're gonna bring the fuel. We're gonna bring a bunch of crew. We can put all these inside. Yeah, we also found a planet killer. We haven't really found a use for it. I mean, you can sell it for money, but that's a horrible use for it. The best use for this is to give it to the Luddic Path, and then they'll stop. You stop getting Luddic Path cells. Yeah, let's bring all these redacted weapons as well, so that we can talk a bit about them. I haven't actually used a lot of them. I've used some of them, not a lot of them. What else? Yeah, let's just go then. So let's make sure that we stocked up on fuel. Let's check our fleet composition. Yeah, it looks okay. And then we're gonna bring like a bunch of supplies. Yeah, this just charges myself. That doesn't matter. Okay, so we have the wormhole here. We're gonna go farm some super redacted. So yeah, the strat is to just put markers. Put markers in the abyss so that you know where things are. Okay, we are here now. So we're gonna transverse jump out. Let me just save the game quickly as well. Yeah, this fleet is gonna like destroy the enemies. Alright, so we're in the abyss now. You can see that our burn is, you know, really low because it's abyssal hyperspace. We're gonna turn on the transport. I don't think the transporter does anything, but we're just gonna turn it on. And then yeah, we're just gonna start exploring. Some of these systems we already know, like we know there's a barren world, there's an ice giant. We're looking for like a system that also has a stable point. So some of these can be enemies, but sometimes they're not. They usually have a ringing sound if they're enemies. Yeah, okay, so this is an enemy. So you see this, right? And what happens here is if you click on the first option, it will spawn like a very difficult boss battle kind of. The second one is like the medium difficulty, and the last one is the minimum. So there are some people who say like the best bang for your buck is the second option, because you get a very similar to the same amount of loot as the most difficult option, but the fight is a lot easier or something. So like in terms of often like the amount of effort or the time that you spend to get the items, right, the second one is the best, but because we are brave, we're gonna go for the first one. So yeah, you see these like enemies, they are pretty strong against like, you know, everything except the Onslaught Mark 1. They are very mobile. I mean, you can just see it for yourself. They're absolutely insane. So we're gonna deploy the Onslaught Mark 1 first. Our frigates, I mean, most of our frigates will just die here, but it's fine. They're not really gonna do much, honestly. These two onslaughts are gonna carry the entire fight, and they're probably not gonna die. So what we want to do is to make sure that our glimmers all surround the Paragon, because these guys are really strong against frigates. Any frigate just dies to them, really. So this is the eye. The eye exposes itself to fire this beam. This beam absolutely destroys ships. Like anything, even cruisers die to it. And it deals a lot of damage. So, but that's why our onslaughts are here. It's very difficult to kill one of these like without the Onslaught Mark 1. They also have this like plasma burn ability, but it works both ways, where they can actually jump away. So they're very, very nimble, and they're very hard to kill when they jump out, especially. Like they take some damage when they jump out, then it's very hard to get the kill shot. Yeah, so this guy is like the capital. Like very tanky, a lot of health. I think it's like 40,000 hull or something. It's something insane. Then you have these eyes. They're kind of like the long range damage dealers. And then you have these shrouds. They are just like really small. They're just like basically the pawns, really. They don't really do much, but they are quite annoying as well because of their jumping ability. I don't think the eye can. The eye can't really jump, and this guy also can't really jump. This is like a. So the main threat to the onslaught is actually this one, the maelstrom, because its attacks actually shred the armor. Yeah, you can see it here. And it also, yeah, these lightning attacks, these actually damage the hull and the armor significantly. But I mean, we have so much that it doesn't really matter, honestly. I mean, half the enemies are dead already. And they have these like these are actually missiles. And when they hit you, they do something. I don't know what they do, but they do something. So yeah, this Paragon is basically useless. The two onslaughts are just the ones fighting the whole fight. I mean, they have level 8 officers. They're fully integrated, so they're like really strong as well. Yeah. So yeah, like. Very mobile, they're very strong. Like against frigates, like this is a really strong frigate build, and it's already struggling with the ship. Yeah, I see it gets overloaded here and then it dies. So yeah. Yeah, so we've lost one, we have one already. And I don't know what about this ship, but it's very difficult to kill. So this is a really strong Paragon with a level 7 officer, and it's taking quite a while to kill this. So yeah, these are the Shrouded Dwellers. Honestly, not very difficult if you have an Onslaught. Yeah, both of them, like, I mean, they took a bit of damage here, but not too much. Yeah, we lost the Glimmer. Might not even be worth deploying the Glimmers at this point. Yeah, and then we get a bunch of this stuff. So these are like substrates where they're kind of like your credits, where you can make things with them. Okay, let's just complete the transition. Let's complete the transaction first, then we can talk about this. It's like a meme. It's like they only give you one. Okay. So this one is like, you know, you can make weapons with this. Like these are the shrouded dweller weapons, right? Yeah, we do have some of those, but I don't have them right now. We are just farming for all this so-called credits. And then you have this thing where, what is this actually? Intercepted lock. Oh yeah, it's for the hull mod. Okay. Yeah, so this hull mod basically fires lightning bolts at locations where your ship has hit an enemy. So we can try this out later, but it does increase your crew casualties in combat. So if your ship takes damage, then you lose a lot of crew. But this doesn't matter if your ship is a automated ship. Well, yeah, and the amount of flux that it costs to fire this increases for the ship size. The damage increases as well, so I guess like, it scales pretty okay. Yeah. Putting is at least you can put this on a frigate and it only costs 5 points. The capital costs 25. There's no bonuses to S modding this. Okay, this one is new. We haven't seen this before. Let's right click to analyze this. I like the new stuff as well. You can't store the energy, you have to go somewhere. Invert the polarity of the flux converter, flicker the drive field, boom. A gentle bump to local time space. You mean space time? This is wrong. You hope it's a gentle bump. It'll work. Remember last time? So yeah, last time we had all this dialogue as well. Okay, yeah, I guess it's just like some conversation. Literally. Yeah, so these weapons, right, is considered demonic. So if you find any Luddic path, like patrols or like, you know, if you bump into any Luddic path, like fleets, they will fight you because they think that you're violating the spiritual law for having these weapons. But yeah, I mean, they can just fight me. I mean, it's like whatever. Yeah, so they don't like this when you have weapons that are made out of this weird supernatural thing. Okay, so they got a new hull mod. What's the hull mod actually? Yeah, can we actually see the... Nah, it doesn't show up here, the design. Yeah, but we can take a look later. Shrouded Dweller hull mod. Yeah, this is the one. Shrouded Mantle. The ship will attempt to recoil away from... So it basically does that plasma burn thing that you see, like the reverse plasma burn, where they can retreat from battle. This is kind of useful. Like, it's kind of like, imagine an onslaught that burn drives the enemy and then it can burn drive back. Yeah. The ship benefits from 50% of the healing provided by Hungering Rift. It's built into the hull using... Okay, so it basically can heal itself if you S-mod this hull mod. It can heal itself. It's only 15 points. That's pretty cheap for like a capital ship. Yeah, the crew casualty in combat. This one really means like you probably don't want to use this on... I mean, you can use this on a like combat ship like the Onslaught. It just means that you'll lose a lot of crew like over the course of a battle. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. I don't know exactly whether this is like the all of the weapons. I believe they are. Some of them are, you know, like okay, I guess. They're not like particularly fantastic either. Like even this one, the Hungering Rift missile. The missile is really slow. It's very easy to dodge this missile. So I wouldn't say like it's a really strong, you know, broken weapon. Yeah, but it does have its uses. It's very slow though. It's ridiculously slow. Like a frigate can easily like avoid it. Okay. Yeah, let's keep looking for more stuff here. I just want to farm all this like stuff. So this is a normal light. Yeah, you don't hear that ringing. So the ringing sound means that it's actually an enemy. I'm gonna use this ability here so that we can go to the next item. So yeah, we're only traveling at burn 6. But, we have a lot of fuel. We can like go. We can keep going here. Oh yeah, so let me manage this colony a bit. So this is the colony where there's a gate system. Yeah, show on the map. Yeah, this one's the one that has the gate system. Yeah, there it is, the gate. So like it's really convenient. So yeah, we're just setting up this colony right now. I don't think we want to build anything else. We can build a way station. We have like 11 million or something. The money is not a problem. Yeah, this will take some time to set up. Okay, yeah, let's keep looking for more stuff. There's another type of enemy, and those only spawn in the gravity wells. Yeah, we did find some of the wells, so we can go there if we can't find any here. We did mark them on the map so that I know exactly where these wells are. I'm also looking for, like, you know, let's just head this direction. I'm also looking for like more systems in this abyss where we can set up like yeah, so this is an enemy as well. It's clearly an enemy. Yeah, we're gonna fight this as well. Yeah, so it's the same, like, it's not really hard with the onslaught mark 1 here. I think we can bring you just to see how we're doing. I'm not gonna bring the glimmers, you're just gonna die. And this guy's not gonna do well, obviously. Like, conquests are really weak against enemies that can like close the distance in a burst, like radiants or onslaughts. They can't really tank either. I doubt he's gonna do it. Yeah, very difficult to kill. Like, this is a Paragon dealing like all of its damage here. And these are like the missiles and stuff. Yeah, I guess insulated engine does help. It's like taking some damage to the engine, so like having some durability there is not a very difficult fight. I mean, because we have these two really broken. They're like tanking all of the damage that our ships would otherwise be taking. Yeah, so these are like the rifts. They basically have hull, and when they hit an enemy, it heals them, I think. So yeah. This eye is the one that basically shreds the hull. It's kind of like a priority to kill, to be honest. Yeah, we lost one side of our hull here. Can you like go kill this thing? Yeah, then they charge it, and then the conquest is vulnerable. This guy might die though. The eye is doing a lot of damage. I think you really have to prioritize the eye. Yeah, this guy's gonna die. I mean, it's an automated ship, so. It can't reach it for some reason. Yeah, I guess the eye is really like mobile. Well, if it dies, the good thing is that we can see how they actually fare against our ships. The AI in the game is like really good. When they know that you are targeting one enemy, they will just try to surround you. And then they try to support the one that's being targeted. I'm still gonna win this fight. Yeah, that's a good thing about the conquest, right? It's maneuverable so they can dodge like attacks like that, but not all the time. Especially if there's a ship behind it, then it can't move. Then that's where it runs into another issue as well. So we lost one of the onslaught. We should be able to get it back without a problem. We're gonna spend a lot of supplies trying to repair it, that's all. Yeah, look at that jump away. He's a sneaky guy. He's a sneaky boy. And the cooldown is like really short. They can use it many times as well. Yeah, look at that. He's just doing it again. Stop running. Okay, I think that's all. That's not all. There's still these guys. Why are they hanging out there? So they are quite vulnerable to tachyon lancers as well. I mean, the eye is just really vulnerable in general. Okay, but then yeah, they have the ability to just charge in like that. They can overwhelm like paragons and stuff. Okay, it's such an easy way to get story points as well. Like doing this, we're just gonna go this direction and try to find more stuff. So yeah, we want to look out for like like these gravity wells here. So inside this gravity well, you face a different type of enemy. They are called like fragments. They're basically like swarm type of enemy. You can see if we go in. Hopefully this is a system that we've never been before. Yeah, we've never been here before. Okay, so they're definitely around us. Right, they're definitely in this system. Let's just quick save here in case I like die or something. I don't think I'll die, but yeah, just quick save here. So yeah, I can't perform service because I didn't bring this. But we won't be able to colonize here anyway. Yeah, so when we run this sensor, right, it should show up some stuff here. Okay, I guess we have to go around. Is our onslaught already repaired? It's still repairing, but I think it should be fine. But yeah, we can go look for some of these fragments. They should be around here, otherwise might need to go around a bit. We do have a lot of sensor range because our Atlas sensor has like sensors. Why is my sensor profile so on? Yeah, because I have my transporter on. Okay, so I guess there's nothing here. Some of these systems might have nothing. Like some of the gravity wells, they don't have anything. Maybe we didn't go far out enough. I mean, generally you should start seeing. So yeah, there's nothing here. So this is a whiff. Actually, yeah, this is a whiff. There's nothing out here. Let's just keep going on here. We still have a lot of fuel. What is that? Yeah, that's limbo. Okay. Did we come here before? No, we didn't. Interesting. Oh, this is a black hole. Oh wow, we need to mark this. Because having a black hole means that we can activate this generate slip search. Yeah, and then it will allow us to travel really fast. Wait, let me just try this. Oh, okay. You don't want to get trapped in that. Oh, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything here. This is a good find though, because it means that we can travel a lot faster in the abyss with this black hole. Yeah, okay, so there's just nothing here then. Yeah, okay, let's jump out. But we want to mark this black hole so that we know that yeah, we know that we can use this. So we're gonna try to use this right now. Let's just see what happens, right? So we're gonna generate this slip search. Yeah, in that direction. So we want to face the right direction here. Like that. And then, yeah. Oh. What the heck? Why? Why did you do that there? I wanted to go this way. Yeah, I'm facing the right way. Oh, I know. I need to be in this. I need to be on this side. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a limit. So like out here, they probably don't see anything already. Okay. That was pretty far. So we went pretty deep there. Yeah, we literally jumped like a bunch of... Yeah, it's 3.5 light years or something. So we saved a lot of time by doing that. Okay, it's good to know. So we've already marked it on our map so that we know that this black hole is there. Yeah, then we know that Limbo is there as well. Okay, yeah, this is just the same thing again. Actually, let's bring you to escort this guy and then you to escort this one. I mean, Shrouded Dwellers is not really a problem. We're just looking for the fragments. So far I heard that the fragments aren't really strong. Like, the armor is very expensive and they don't really... Yeah, compared to fighters, they're not very strong. Yeah, look at that soft flux in the eyes. We're gonna lose the conquest here. I mean, yeah, the conquest took a lot of damage there. They jumped away. Yeah, and those are missiles. They do have a lot of hit points. They're really dangerous against capitals, especially like because they're slow. Like the adjudicators on this onslaught is the main reason why it's so good. They killed another Maelstrom. Maelstrom is also really problematic because they can actually deal like good damage to the oh, we lost the conquest. It's gone now. It died. Yeah, it died to this guy, I guess. It just disappeared. Actually, I wonder how you fare against the eye. I think it should be quite strong though, like Fortress Shield ability. The problem is, can you actually kill this? Yeah, Tachyon Lancers are pretty good against this. Oh, it's out of range now. Oh, there we go. Nice. So, yeah, against one of this, Paragon is pretty strong. I know, the auto pulse, the good old auto pulse lasers. And if they jump away, the Tachyon Lancers can catch them. Yeah, he's dead. So we lost the conquest here, but no big deal. We might have lost some crew, but I did bring a Starliner here, so I'm gonna find the fragments, because that's a very interesting fight. Like the fragments, how it works is like they keep spawning enemies over and over and over until you kill the mothership. Yeah, we lost the conquest here. Man, there's a bunch of demons on this guy. So yeah, just the same bunch of stuff. Nothing different here. Yeah, this is such an easy way to get story points. Every single fight gives us a story point. Wow. Yeah, let's keep going. We need to be a bit wary of our fuel. We can always go out of the system here, but yeah, because there's a gate system somewhere up here. Still looking for anything. Okay, this might be a gravity well. Let's hope there is one. What's that? There's just nothing. Some of these are like ghosts or something. No, I'm pretty sure that was like the conquest like stuff. Okay, this is definitely an enemy. I don't think I want to fight this. I want to fight the fragments. Like, I want to at least show the fragments. Okay. There's something else beside it. I guess that's not. What if I do this? Yeah, the fragments are not easy to find. You have to find actually a planet. I could also go to some of these planets that I've already seen before. They're quite far away though. Yep, still nothing. Maybe we're too close to the map. I wonder if there's a limit. Like, what is there a limit to this? Because it seems like nothing's going on. Let's take a look at this space here. Yeah, let's just upgrade everything. Cryo facility is up. So yeah, this gives like a 2.1. I mean, right now it's a bit far, so the efficiency is not very good. Yeah, this thing is farming. So yeah, I'm not finding anything really. Maybe we're not in range, or like maybe we're too close to the map. Maybe we're too far away from the map. Okay, yeah, maybe there's like a range for this. Well, at half the fuel now. This thing again. Don't want to fight that. We're gonna find a gravity well. There's another light. Okay, this is a normal light though, because it doesn't have the ringing. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Increased sensor range. Yeah, but like, there's nothing there. These one here before. Okay, there's another light. What are you? Okay, this is actually another light. What do they actually show up on the map? Yeah. Just, okay. Okay, those are ringing, so those are enemies. Alright. Need to be wary for fuel. The fuel is the main problem here. Yeah, I half fuel. So nothing, still nothing. Some of these are like fake sensors. Pretty sure that's the light that we just chose to ignore. Okay, this looks like a gravity well. Okay, there's a gravity well. Alright, let's jump in. Okay, yeah, we've never been here before, so let's mark this on the map as well, so that we know where it is. Alright. Are you guys here? Yeah, they're here. They are here, alright. Okay. So, yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult to fight these guys. They're quite easy. Yeah, they're right there. So yeah, these are the fragments. You see there's 3 motherships. This is a maximum. This is a big fleet. Yeah. So these guys are fabricator units. Yeah, they will keep building things. They will keep building ships, like more ships, so the fight can drag on forever. They also have unlimited peak performance. I mean, they are automated, but the main problem is that they keep spawning more and more ships. Now there is a trick to fight these. They added a new command in the game called ignore. So what I found that works very well when fighting this is to ignore all the frigates. You ignore the frigates, you don't kill the frigates, because they have a limited number of like deployment points, right? The enemy has a limited number of deployment points. They can only have so many ships in the field at a given time. So if you ignore the frigates, the ship can't spawn any more, like, you know, any more ships, right? Because most of the points are on frigates. And the frigates are like really weak, like they can't do anything to your capital ships anyway. I mean, they can be annoying, but like they can just like cause you to just raise your shields all the time, but they're not really that big of a deal. The destroyers are annoying and the cruisers are annoying, so those you have to kill. Then the ship keeps making more and more ships, but then you just keep ignoring the frigates that it produces, so you end up with a lot of frigates in the map, and then you just kill these motherships. Yeah, it says 86 here, but we shouldn't have a problem with this. So we were gonna use glimmers here because this is just the power of automated ships. We have so many officers, every single ship has officers. We already have 240 deployment points. We don't even need to capture the points. Alright, so I mean, but we will capture some because they give bonuses, but honestly we don't really need all these points, to be honest. Alright, so the trick here is to use the ignore command on anything that's a frigate. We don't want to kill that, we just want to leave those alive. They will be, you know, they'll just be existing and we're just gonna ignore them, completely ignore them. Then the strategy is just keep getting closer and closer to the mothership. Yeah, so these guys are gonna ignore. We just keep getting closer to the mothership, keep killing all the ships in our way, and then we get on top of the mothership and we kill it. So yeah, ignore. So these destroyers are annoying. We're gonna actually kill these destroyers if possible. We're gonna call back some of these glimmers to defend our cruisers. I mean our capitals here. We can allow a few of them to just. We're gonna unselect these command points. We want all the enemies to be surrounding in this area. Alright, let's get into the action. So yeah, these destroyers are really annoying, so you have to kill these. And then these are the remnants. Not remnants, they are like the fragments here. They're basically like fighters essentially. So if you have like a ship with very good point defense, they just all die. Yeah, it can get difficult in the fight if you start to if you can't overwhelm the enemies and you lose ships, then it gets a bit tricky. Yeah, we lost the glimmer there. I mean, it's kind of expected really. Let's just bring back all our glimmers so that they support our fleet. They are kind of like remnants really. Like they are very I mean they're fast. They have very good shield efficiency, so they're kind of like remnants. They're basically remnants that can keep coming and coming. Yeah, so these are the motherships. They I can't really see them. Yeah, so they look like this, and they will keep spawning enemies as long as you kill enemies. But the strategy is to ignore the frigates so that the frigates will take up a lot of their points, and then the mothership can't spawn like dangerous enemies. Yeah, in fact we can ignore these are like their carriers. We can just ignore those. We want to get on top of the mothership and we want to kill that because those are the ones that are main priority here. Yeah, look at our glimmers. Some of them are like really overflux already, just acting like a. Okay, we killed one mothership already. And when they're building, you see when we're on top of them. When we're on top of the mothership, they build the ships immediately beside them. So being on top of them means that we can just kill them as they are. Like right now, they are actually, the health is still, you can still damage the health of this, although the ship has not spawned yet. So it's just a free kill. And yeah, Onslaught Mark 1 pretty strong, and then we can clean up the rest of the frigates later. Yeah, so we're gonna ignore this frigate as well. We don't want to focus on that. Yeah, so the fragments are kind of like missiles or fighters. I mean, they're kind of like the same thing. Yeah, they're gonna try. They're coming back now because actually, why are they coming back? I have no idea. Yeah, we're gonna do our best to ignore all these things. Maybe we'll kill these if necessary. Is our onslaught dead? No, I mean conquest. No, it's not dead. We are on top of this mothership thing. We should be able to kill it. Yeah, we need you to escort this, and we need you to also escort this ship. So now the onslaught is focusing on the second mothership. It should be dead now. It's overloaded, it can't do much. Yeah, as long as we get on top of them, we should be fine here. Yeah, they're still doing well, they're still doing okay, still have a lot of health. Like reinforced blockades, man, 40% more health, yes. Hello, Grandolph. Yeah, I'm trying to work on my commentary a bit. I think it can be better, but yeah. But yeah, I like to explain like what's going on. So yeah, we've ignoring all the frigates so that the mothership can't spawn like, you know, really dangerous enemies. I mean, sometimes some of these will die, but like the main point is like we don't want to kill these. We just want to ignore them. And now that all the ships are clumped up here, right? The problem is that these ones at the back can't actually fire because they can't shoot across their own allies. But I think the fragments can fly over. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, the fragments can fly over, I guess, but fragments are not really that big of a problem. Why are you going? You should focus on this. Actually, you should just command our onslaughts to just focus on this. There's no reason why they shouldn't kill these. Some of these are already damaged, and they still have a lot of hull and stuff. Honestly, we can ignore the carriers. They're not very annoying. I mean, our point defense is really strong. Like, you know. Okay, you are overfluxed. You are overfluxed. Yeah, Conquest is not very good for these kind of battles. You really want like tanky boys and a lot of yeah, a lot of tank, really. Either shield tank or like just hull tank. Yeah, so the motherships are down. Now we can clean up everything that's left. We can just unselect those frigates from being ignored and stuff. Yeah, these are not really hard. It's just a test of attrition, really. If you do lose like ships, then I guess you can slowly lose the battle. But it's not like a random would just jump on your ship and then just kill your entire like fleet anchor. Probably it's not gonna be like that. It's just more like you lose like a bunch of cruisers, destroyers, and then slowly just lose the battle. But yeah. Yeah, but so far I heard that so far I also feel that the hull mods and the weapons that you get from the fragments aren't really that strong. That being said, I never actually tried it, but I just see like the sentiments and forums and stuff. Generally not too great. They're kind of like fighters, missile hybrid, but not really very like overpowered. I think the shrouded dweller weapons, some of them are really quite strong. Like, yeah, we can go through some of the weapons after this battle. But yeah, I think like the strategy is just to ignore the frigates and then just go and just get into a concave, and then like the enemy fragments can't really do much. So I don't know what is this for. Yeah, we don't know what this is yet. We need to get the blueprint. It might be this. Is that what you do? No, it's not what you do. What did I actually do? I can't actually see what I did. It's probably a hull mod or something. Yeah, so you get all these weapons when you finish the battle as well. Some of them are pretty okay. Some of them are like, you know, a bit meh. Like this one is kind of like the... It's kind of like a hyper velocity driver. Yeah. But it has less range. So it has 800 range compared to 1000. Hyper velocity driver has about 1000 range if I remember correctly. The problem with this weapon is that it is a very slow turn rate, so putting it in a turret slot is really horrible. Like, it's really slow. I've tested this and it's ridiculously slow. But I generally like heavy needlers if you have... Because heavy needlers have, I think, 800 range as well, and heavy needlers are just a better weapon in general because they deal burst damage. They deal all their shots in a burst. So they really overflux like frigates and destroyers and cruisers that try to get close to your ship. This is more like a hyper velocity driver wannabe, but it doesn't have the range. It has very good flux stats though, like it's only 0.7 flux per shot. I mean flux per damage, but it's a bit meh. I think it will be okay to use in like a Falcon or an Eagle where it can just like sit at a decent range and help enemies, but you really do want the range that you get from like hyper velocity driver. But yeah, and these guys drop a lot of supplies, so if you find one of these gravity wells, or you can just keep farming these fleets to get supplies, and we just replenished all of our fuel that we lost exploring the abyss. Now that being said, right, you can't actually set up like usually if you have a bunch of excess materials, like you can just deploy like a stationary, you know, like a cache, right, a supply cache where you can get the items back later, but you can't actually do that here. I mean, we can just show it very quickly. So you see these cargo pods, right? By right, you can put these pods into orbit in a normal, you know, like in the normal game, but we can't do that here. Yeah, so it says you're unlikely to find the current area, like what about, but basically the game is just trying to say that you can't actually put these in a stable orbit. Otherwise you'd be so broken, right? Like look at all of this supplies and fuel that you just get from farming this stuff. Man, I want to try 0.98, but I'm waiting for one more mod to be updated. Might just make a new playthrough without it. Yeah, you know what you explained is exactly the problem that I have with Project Zomboid right now. So Project Zomboid right now has build 42, right? And I can't justify myself playing build 42 beta because they keep pushing updates to the game like every few months. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like I don't feel invested in the playthrough because they keep updating like the animal, and then like some of the mechanics change, and then I just waste like a bunch of time on like a character that eventually just becomes obsolete. So yeah, I can totally understand what you feel. What mod are you waiting for actually? Yeah, I mean at this point I guess you can justify bringing another Atlas with you because there's so many supplies from fighting these fleets. Like this is a lot. Like this is just the salvage alone. Like this wasn't even the actual fleet like salvage, like the post-battle salvage. This is like just doing a salvage operation on what was remaining and just like 500 supplies. Yeah. The good thing is that these will still stay here as long as you're in the system, so you can keep hunting more fleets and just repairing. So like, kind of like your main issue is like the rate of repair that you can do for your ships, like this Glimmer. I mean honestly, I don't feel like the Glimmer is really useful. It probably just like act as a distraction for the enemy really. They kind of have to expect they die at some point. So when there's one, there's probably more. So they're probably around here somewhere. We still haven't found like a system in the abyss where you can put a stable point, because that would be pretty good if we can do that. We can even deploy like the wormhole anchor in that system. Wait, is that it? That can't be it, right? There's gotta be more. There has to be more. I guess you can also I guess you can put like, if you bring Prometheum tankers or Atlases, like look at our Atlas, we have a... Oh, I don't have the sensor skill on it. Huh. Maybe that was a mistake. I shouldn't have dry field on this because I have 4 tugs. Maybe I should put like the sensor skill, because having the sensor skill on the Atlas is a good way to get more detection range. Yeah, I guess there's no more left. I mean, that was a pretty strong, I mean, it's a 5-star fleet, but like, I guess in normal... Okay, yeah, there's another one here, okay. So these are just, yeah, it's the same thing, I guess. 85%, it's such a good way to farm like story points, honestly. Yeah, so these guys should be deployed first. They actually spawn in closer to the map if you click them first. And then, I don't think I want to bring a conquest really. This guy is such a... Honestly, I do think it's a bit of a glass cannon. Like, the hull is really... It's not great. The armor isn't great either. And the shield is just... Dude, the shield is 2 times worse than a Paragon. That's how bad it is. Like, that's how bad the shield is. And on normal difficulty, you take... I mean, if you're playing on easy, that's not really too bad. But on normal difficulty, you like, on easy difficulty, you take 25% less damage. But this is not easy difficulty. I guess we can escort a few of you, but... The main problem with escorting in this game is that sometimes these glimmers get in the way of the ship, and then you can't shoot at the enemy, right? It gets in between, like, it gets... You see, it's right here, right? By right, this Devastator cannon should be able to kill like a bunch of fragments that's coming from this side, but this glimmer is blocking this gun from firing. So that's a bit annoying. Yeah. But I guess, I mean, the only good thing that I find from the escort command is that they can at least protect the ship from the rear or like the flanks a little bit. Like the rear is the main issue. They can distract the enemy. The main thing is just want them to distract the enemies they are trying to flank us. That's about it. But them getting in the way, like you see right here, they're getting in the way of firing at this ship. They're like passing left and right, and then the onslaught can't actually fire at the enemy. This is a pretty good angle, yeah. When they're side by side like this, like a flank, this is pretty okay. Oh yeah, I need to ignore these guys. I've been forgetting to ignore these. I also, like, I don't bother with the points. I just want to get this fight done and over. You can capture all our points, that's fine. We don't really want to just charge in and eliminate the mothership right now. We just want to like slowly get into a good position and make sure that, you know, like the rest of our fleet can catch up with like our spearhead here. Yeah, he's in a good position, really. This is a nice position. So what's going on is like these ships, they're kind of like blocking one another. Like, they may have weapons that can fire at this onslaught. Like, they could have like really long range weapons, but they can't shoot over their allies. Only missiles and fighters can fly over them. So, I mean, they have fragments, which is like kind of like their missile or whatever. But if they have weapons that can hit this onslaught, this guy is actually blocking all of them. So kind of like in a nice position to... He's very well positioned as well. Like his Devastator cannons are facing both flanks, and he's just like killing stuff. Yeah, so we're on top of this guy right now. Might as well just focus him down and get rid of the mothership. And then yeah, so this is where the escort command is nice, where they are like distracting them. I don't even want to kill these. I just want them to be distracted so that my Paragon doesn't need to activate the shields. When you activate shields, you know, you start to take hard flux, right? So you don't want like hard flux. I mean, you take hard flux from like the fragment damage and stuff. When your Paragon is able to drop the shields, you can just like, you know, you don't need to vent. You can just just you know, from time to time you can take a bit of damage, but as long as your Paragon is able to, as long as your ship is able to drop the shields, like then it's like they basically done nothing. But if these guys are forcing you to use the shield all the time, then all of that damage kind of adds up, and then you start gaining hard flux, and then your ship gets overfluxed. So having these guys just like the glimmers just distracting the other frigates is nice. That's kind of like what their role is in this fleet. Okay, so that's one mothership down. We don't want to execute another execute command right now because we want him to be able to retreat a bit. He's getting a bit surrounded, so we want the AI to just slowly retreat out. You can see the arrow is this way, right? He's trying to get out of this pretty rough position. I want to give him some space here. His flux is also really high, so he's like, even if we ask him to eliminate this ship right now, he's not gonna do a really good job. So we're gonna allow him to back out a bit so that he can, you know, vent or like just take a bit less flak. You are doing something really funny. I don't know why you went for this isolated guy there. You guys should be actually together, but it's very difficult to position this. Like sometimes you put the command like this, but it doesn't actually move there. It kind of goes there eventually, but it will still do its own thing, really. Like it won't be facing in a direction that you want it to face either. Like, I guess like what would really work in this game, and this is like something that works in, say, what's another game that has this mechanic? Where you can place a command and actually face, like, command the unit to face a certain direction. I can't remember what game that does this. I know there's a game that does this. I think it's World in Conflict. It's one of like those like World War III kind of games, like Command and Conquer, something like that, where you can, like, you have tanks, right? And the tanks are very weak. Have very weak armor at the sides and the rear. So what you can do is like you can put a command here, and then you can actually drag your mouse so that you can tell the ship to, or you can tell the entity, the unit to face a certain way, so you can maximize the armor. I think that will work pretty well in this game as well. Instead of just placing down a nav buoy, like, yeah, like you can, instead of like just placing down a nav buoy here and then making the ship go there, you can just place the buoy and then drag your mouse in this direction up, where you can actually face, you can tell your ship to face a certain way. Because like sometimes you put a command like this, but then the ship is like facing this way, and then it has its engines facing the enemy, so it's like kind of weird or something. They do automatically turn themselves based on the current situation of the game, but like, yeah, that would be nice to have as well. Yeah, I guess you can actually jump on. Can you actually jump on this? No, not really. It's just fine. You guys can just like stay here and keep killing stuff. I mean, your armor is not even stripped off yet, so they're doing pretty well. Let's keep ignoring these guys because they really don't do much. I mean, the fragments are really easy to deal with. We have like very good point defense. Our weapons on the onslaughts deal splash damage, so we kill the fragments. This ship is overflux, can't do anything. You are also overflux, you are dead. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore the really like mediocre ships. So that's one more mothership down. We only have one left. It's already getting hammered. Yeah. Yeah, these guys really want flux. They are like so flux hungry. They gain so much flux over the course of a battle. They didn't even have time to vent, honestly. They've just been relying on their dissipation to get rid of the flux. So I guess like S modding Flux Dissipator would actually be a pretty useful hull mod, yeah. Because like right now in this exact situation, maneuvering jets isn't doing much. Like, auxiliary thrusters isn't really doing much. Like everywhere they point, there's an enemy. So having more dissipation would make sense as well. But I mean, we already S modded these, so yeah. Yeah, we can just like unselect the ignore command and then we can kill the rest of these frigates, really. the battle is pretty much over. I feel like once you get rid of 2 of the mothership, it's pretty much over at that point. Like, killing 1 already reduces the amount of spawn rate by a third, which is pretty significant. And then, yeah, the next one is just pretty much a death sentence already. So we know that these are automated ships. Yeah, they are automated by, but we don't actually see what cores they have. Actually, that's a very good point. Maybe I should check like what kind of officers they have. Yeah, that is it. Yeah, it drops so many supplies. Like, if you want to get metals for your Corona Hypershun, this is probably the best way to do it. That's way too much fuel that we can handle. Okay, we can actually survey this planet right now. How funny is that? Yeah, dude, I have 35 story points. I was like 20 when I came here. And now it's 35. I mean, I did have a lot of bonus XP, but man, it's insane. Like after every fight, you get like so much XP from this. I mean, the difficulty modifier was 85%. I mean, it's not the highest. Like if you fight Remnant, all those you can get up to 500. But yeah, let's survey this planet. So yeah, this planet is indeed hyperspace and cannot be colonized. Yeah, so you can't colonize this. But we're gonna mark this system because so that it shows up on the map here, so that we know that this system exists. Because you can't actually see the planets in the abyssal hyperspace. Do we want to farm more? How many fragments do we have? We want a bit more of this threat processing unit. I think we'll just do one more battle of this if we can find one more, and then we go out to the. What is this actually? Oh, this is for the hull. This is a hull mod item. Yeah, then we go farm some more shrouded substrates. I mean, it's more. We farm more of these like unique items. Yeah, let's just do one more battle with the fragments. I mean, the onslaught Mark 1 is just really very strong. Like really strong. So it seemed to be like on the left side. I mean the right side. Yeah, everything is repaired. Did we lose a glimmer? We might have lost a glimmer, but no, we're still at full strength. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all there is. Also, how is my colony crisis going? Yeah, so we are kind of like dealing with the Tritech crisis. That's the only one left. I think the pirates. I still haven't made a deal with Kanta yet, but to be honest, I don't really care about pirates too much. The Tritech fleets are really strong. Like some of the mercenary rates were pretty insane. They had like they had 3 S mods. They had paragons. It was a difficult fight. The problem is that they have fleets all together, like, so it's a very prolonged battle. Then there are like multiple times when the fleet re-engages with me, and then I don't have enough combat readiness to fight like another battle. So I kind of like had to camp near my star fortress to just repair my ships. I think we're done here. It's nothing here. So I'm wondering like why these fragments are like, why are they in the gravity well? Like, of all places, why are they in here? Maybe they got trapped here and they can't get out. But they are only specifically in gravity wells. Yeah, let's get out of here. I don't think there's anything left in here. Alright. Is this a system that we came out of? Yeah, I think it is, right? Yeah, I can't actually see this. I think it's the same system. Yeah, it's the same one. So let's keep heading this way. Then we can get out from this way and go back to a colony. So we're gonna do a bit more farming, and then we'll see what we can do with all those weapons and stuff. I might have some hull mods that I don't have access to yet. It's still nothing. Is it even worth trying to do the like active sensor burst? Incident averted. Well, what happened here? Yeah, it should be fine. I mean, they can sabotage our facilities. I don't really care at this point. Okay, so there's another thing here. Alright, let's actually fight this thing. Hopefully there's an enemy. Yeah, it's not an enemy. Okay. It might be worth to do the burn. No, the burn range not. The burn range is not. The burn rate is not worth it, cause the moment we find a gravity well, we replenish all of our fuel anyway. So to me, the sensor skill is just better. Yeah, still nothing out here. Maybe we're too far. Maybe we're too far out. We're definitely in the abyss, right? Okay, there's something here. It's probably a gravity well. Like, the size already lets me know that, yeah, it's a gravity well. Alright, hopefully there's fragments in here. Yeah, it's not surveyed. Okay, let's mark the system as well, so that we know that this is here. Like that. Oh, yeah, I guess they spawn like in this area, I guess. Okay, there are threat. There are fragments around. Let's go and fight these guys. Okay, this is a pretty small one. Yeah, is it even worth, like, I guess it's worth deploying you guys. Oh, I didn't do the onslaught thing, yeah. So the first ship that you click to deploy will actually get the lead. We're not onslaughts to do that. You can escort this. I guess you can be alone. We'll give you one escort and one escort for you. Yeah, so we're gonna ignore these. And then... yeah, we can kill the destroyer. The destroyers are a bit annoying. They have like really annoying abilities and weapons. You guys need to go here. Like, stop going there. We're gonna ignore this carrier as well. I feel like the carriers are worth ignoring because they're not very threatening to your capital ships. This guy actually, yeah, his weapon is pretty annoying, so I guess we can get rid of that if possible. But to be fair, the destroyers are probably the most annoying one. Yeah, this guy. So we're gonna ignore you. This ship in general is not very annoying, it's not very dangerous. It's a carrier, it spawns like fragments at you, but the fragments are really easy to do. Expanded magazines on this ship, because like the regeneration rate, how much you can fire, that is a very big limitation of like your sustained damage output. So having expanded magazines on your onslaughts, I feel like just a must. It's a must because you want to win those sustained battles. You can just jump on this right now. It's like this guy has no defenses. He's trying to spawn a bunch of ships. That's not gonna help you. Once this guy is down, we can just clean up the rest. Yeah, I really think that heavy needlers is one of the best medium ballistics. Like the amount of... They're just so useful even against like fighters and missiles. Like the amount of like bullets that you can spray out, it damages a lot of things out there. And it has a very good turn rate, so it can actually keep up with frigates. And it just overflux frigates. The mothership is down already. Yeah, like heavy needlers are probably the best mount that you can put on medium slots. Yeah, and they also destroy like missiles as well, which is a good thing. Even though they're not a point defense weapon, but all of these slots actually will kill fighters as well. Yeah, the battles is pretty much over. I should probably install a mod that increases the speed of these battles because it's taking a while actually. Some days I just allow the battle to happen and then I just go do my own thing. Like, yeah. And then after I'm done, I come back and the battle is over. Easy. Okay, no, I can unignore you. We don't really want to capture these points anymore. The problem with capturing points right now is that they're actually making our capitals take a long time to get there. So yeah, okay, wait, I want to find out, do you have guys have AI cores? No, they don't have AI cores. Right. Yeah, even the destroyer doesn't have AI cores. Yeah, I don't see any AI cores in these things, but they are automated ships. So it's interesting, like so they have no pilots, I guess. Yeah, probably have no officers. It's kind of like your own automated ships as well. You can choose not to put officers in them. That will allow you to get double the amount of glimmers, like right now, that we have, because we have put gamma cores in them. But officers are really strong. Like the ability, like having the ability to repair your ship just because you have an officer is quite insane. Like being able to vent your hard flux as well, like impact mitigation skill, that's really insane as well. It just makes them so tanky and so hard to kill. And like if you get helmsmanship skill on the AI core as well, like if you choose it, then they're also really fast and they capture points faster than the enemy because they have, more speed. So yeah, I mean, you always want to put officers in the automated ships. Like, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to do that. Like, even though there's a penalty to your, like, the number of ships that you can use, but it just, the benefit is just so, it's so much. I mean, I think alpha cores in Glimmers is like, too excessive, but like even beta cores would be fine. There's only a few skills that really make them like extremely strong. They're just really meant to be distractions, and they're not really there. Like some of them, there are few glimmer builds out there as well. Like you can go for DPS where you put all tactical lasers on this thing and it will just melt other frigates. We kind of went with the annoying little fly that you cannot kill, like build. So they just really have hardened shields and stuff. We can go through the glimmers a bit. Yeah, I didn't talk about them earlier. But some of them will die. I mean, they die to things like Tachyon Lancers and stuff, because I mean they're just so like weak against them. Okay, I think we have gotten enough of this. Yeah, we have 41 fragment, whatever that is, and this. I also think we have the hull mods unlocked. No, this one is not unlocked. What is this? What is this used for? Employ large amount to support the variation, not fully understood. Yeah, but I don't know. This is clearly a hull mod. I mean, it has to be. It's worth about the same value as this, and this is a hull mod. Yeah, this is a hull mod. So what is this? Import in large numbers to support various functions not fully understood but clearly well below threshold being considered artificial intelligence. Oh, this is considered below the threshold of an AI. So it's not actually an AI. So I think what this description is telling me that this is kind of like an AI core, but it's not really an AI core. Yeah, it's kind of like an alpha beta core or something. I mean, from what this looks like. I mean, yeah, whatever. We don't know what this is. There's also one person in Tritechia who is interested in getting these items. I don't actually know what will happen if we get them. Also, how did you end up here? This is an Omega weapon. Was it always there? Or did it just spawn? I have no idea. I didn't bring any Omega weapons with me, right? How did I get a Rift Beam then? Okay, it's fine. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's not a biggie. Do we want to farm more of these? Let's do one more max. Yeah, let's do one more. I want to find out what that threat, I mean, what this thing is. We don't know what this is. Threat processing unit. Yeah, it's like an AI core, it looks like. But you can't put them in your ship. I mean, can I put them in this? No, I can't. So I don't know what that is. There's also, oh my goodness, there's so many fleets out there. Maybe that was a bad idea. They're all coming at... You know what? Actually, I'm very curious. Let me just save the game. What if I fight 5 of these at once? Would that... No, it wouldn't affect the battle too much. Because, like, they have a maximum cap. Oh, that's a pretty big... Nah, actually, it's not big. The main thing is the mothership. Let's do this. Like, let's just experiment for fun. Let's fight 3 of these fleets at the same time. Let's just corral them together. Let's just do like a herding. This is like called herding. Yeah, so you have 1 and no, you have 2, and you have 2, right? So that's 6 of this. It might be just a, you know, it might just be like a fight after another. We're gonna spend... Do we want to spend a story? Let's spend a story point to disengage here. Can we actually fight this together? No, it seems like you can only fight them one by one. Alright, we did save here, so I'm just gonna like load the save. Yeah, so I guess you can't like... I guess you can't fight 3 or 4 of these at once. Well, that's a bummer, really. Yeah, you can't. If I fight this and I go for the next one, then I'll have a CR penalty, but I don't think it's a problem. These onslaughts are really, like, really ridiculous. It's not... We could even just allow them to be the only ones in battle, but yeah, let's just use these 3. Let's see how these 3 fare. So you can escort him. Honestly, these 2 might be enough. I know that 3 definitely works. Like, they have so much damage output that it just destroys, like, all the new threat enemies. That being said, I think people mentioned that it's a bug where you can get these from military, like, military blue, like the military procurement guys. So I got like more of these onslaughts by the military, like, orders and stuff, like the ones that you find in bars. So I guess it's not intended to, it's not an intended way to get these items, obviously, because they're like super rare and they're so strong. It's kind of like getting like it's kind of like a renewable cigarette where you just keep getting them. That doesn't seem to be how the game is intended. Actually, we can ignore these guys. We don't need to kill these. These are just like useless carriers. So the heavy needler is actually firing at these fragments. Interesting. Yeah, we want to kill the destroyers. Because the destroyers they have like weapons. We want to kill those, and then, you know, we can let it spawn more carriers and whatnot. I don't really care about that. Or the best is probably more frigates. It's interesting that they drop so many fragments. I mean, so many supplies and fuel. Makes me wonder, like, why? Like, why would they drop so many supplies and fuel? It seems weird to me. It can't be that, you know, the developers want to make it so that it's a way for you to constantly farm this, because that doesn't make any sense. So why do you get so many supplies? Like, is this where people get, like, where humanity gets, like, resources? No, I mean, there's a lot of weird things going on. So there's sensor goals, and then there's this thing, and then there's like the shrouded dweller thing. Yeah, I'm no expert in the law, but some people have said that, like, this ties in somehow with, like, why or how the domain, like, collapsed or something like that. You took somehow maybe, yeah, I think 3 of these should be fine, because the glimmers honestly don't do much other than just, like, distracting the enemy. This guy's doing pretty well. This guy is taking out a lot of ships. So it seems like when they're overloaded, they can still actually kill the ships. Yeah, this is the we want you to kill this. This one is very low on power. Yeah, I lost this armor on the left side. Yeah, you have a lot of health. You can just target and kill this. Then I'll get rid of one enemy. Paragon is already overfluxed. You are very injured. Can you just kill this? If you kill this, right, then oh, it's actually, they're actually coming in. Looks like the other fleet might be joining this battle. Yeah, they might be joining this battle. They actually joining a battle. I think this paragon is very much needed. It's already overfluxed. Oh, this guy died as well. So it's only you. If you actually take everyone on, actually we have a conquest and a bunch of glim. Let's deploy those right now. Nah, it's not gonna kill it. Oh my goodness, are you serious? I think we might die here. Yeah, so I guess the glimmers are kind of useful, right? Because they will take heat off your ships. Yeah, I guess 3 capitals can't do it. Yeah, I guess we have to deploy everything. Actually, you guys need to be deployed first, and then we'll follow up with everything else. You can follow him, and you can follow him. You two can defend him. Yeah, you two can defend him. Then you guys are just there to capture points. Is there any capital in the game that you can just send on its own without any escorts? I don't think so. That would be pretty broken, actually. Having a capital where it can just be completely like not weak to anything. Like conquests are pretty weak against fighters as well. This guy is weak against like stuff at the back, obviously. I mean, every capital is just weak against things behind it. But the thing about Paragons is they're really slow. So if they get caught in a bad position, it's pretty much impossible to back out of a fight. Like, you kind of have to commit because they're so slow. Onslaughts. I mean, onslaughts, the problem with onslaughts is that they charge. Sometimes they charge into the enemy way too deep and then they get surrounded and they die. I guess, like, is there any capital that... I guess there's one capital that actually you can send on its own without actually having any issues, and that's the Radiant. The Remnant Radiant is so strong, like, as in, the reason why it dies is because the AI is reckless. But if you don't allow an AI to pilot it, and you just let it, like, you know, be unpiloted, it can actually do pretty well. It can kill a lot of things, and it can get out easily. It can retreat, and it can jump in easily when needed. Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit 50-50 on whether you should put it. I mean, obviously putting an alpha core in is really, really insane, right? But the reckless nature of the alpha core is also a really big problem. Like, it will jump in front of lots of enemies. Like, it will literally face teleport in front of the entire fleet and then it just dies. Having a steady AI core that will be absolutely broken because that ship has absolutely no weaknesses at all. It has mobility, it has firepower, it has defenses, it's everything. And it has so much hull and armor as well, so it's not like squishy. Like, even if its engines flame out or something horrible happens to it, it can always face game out of its way, out of trouble. Oh, you guys need to be on search on destroy, right? Maybe that's what happened. Nah, that's not what happened in the last fight. Last fight we just didn't have any escorts and then they just got way too much damage and they died. But yeah, the Radiant is just one capital that doesn't have any weaknesses really. It's strong against everything. Like, you can make the argument, well, it's weak against fighters, but not really. It can teleport out of the fighters and, like, you know, it then won't get surrounded. It's so brave. And then you can even put PD on it and it will be fine. Like, it has so much armor, like, it can easily dodge a wave of bombers. Like, that's how strong it is. The mobility on that thing is insane. And if you have a AI core that has systems expertise, the face gamer is literally, like, always... There's no cooldown, basically. Like, it always has charges. Yeah, Radiants are pretty insane. I mean, we have a Radiant. We can see one for ourselves in battle after this. Once we do something. Yeah, look at all these useless, like... these useless... frigates here. They're doing nothing. We haven't actually killed a mothership yet, but I think we're doing nothing. Yeah, you can just go for the kill, buddy. You are also overloaded. Why not just go for the kill? Just go for the kill. The problem of AI in this game is that sometimes it doesn't know when. Sometimes it's too conservative. Right? It overloads the enemy onslaught and then it doesn't actually finish it off. Now it's just a better target. It's a good thing that there's no crew on this thing, otherwise, like, the amount of casualties that we have from fighting these is... Oh yeah, I guess they do come in, right? Yeah, there is a limit to how many deployment points that the enemy can spawn. Even though you're fighting like 3-4 fleets at once. And we're kind of like surrounding the spawn point anyway, so like they have no chance at all. Yeah, these deployments are they're very annoying, so it's a good idea to kill these. And then these guys, they are like carriers, but they have very good front mounts. So they deal quite a bit of damage to you. So yeah, it's a good idea to take out those. But then the frigates, you can just ignore all those. And then this guy is just a really weak carrier. They're actually very similar to Remnants in a way. And we know that Tritachyon created the Remnants. So they probably got some inspiration from these guys. A lot of inspiration, it seems like. I mean, the carriers look very similar. Like the frigates, I guess. I mean, the boomers are not exactly these guys. But they're kind of similar. Yeah. We can take a look at the codex after this battles. Whether they actually have similar mounts. But those carriers look very similar to the remnant ones. I mean, it's probably not ethical, neither is it safe to do all this kind of out of control like experimentation, but you know what they say, right? Like, eventually someone's gonna do it. And to be honest, like, a lot of the times we're just very curious about what it's gonna be like. Like, a very good example is like going to Mars, right? Like, going to Mars is a really big milestone for humanity, actually. Like, going to another planet. We're talking about a planet here. We're not talking about the moon or whatever. We're talking about like a new planet. So it's gonna be a huge milestone, right? But then there's also like certain risks involved in like doing these kind of things. Like let's say that, I mean, people are pretty sure that there's no like crazy virus on Mars or anything. But we don't actually know for sure, right? We know that there's no bacteria there. We know that there's no life there, also it seems like. To be honest, the amount of exploration that we have done on Mars is like probably so little. Like, we probably don't even know like what's beneath the ground, like for a good 10 meters. There could be like caves and beings there and stuff. Like, we just probably don't know. I mean, we send rovers, but you need to understand that rovers only have a certain amount of sensors and stuff, right? They can't actually like, it's different from like sending a human into a cave. When you send a human being in a cave, he actually gets to experience those things firsthand. If you send like a drone or like a robot, certain things will look a certain way. Anyways, I'm going a bit out of time. I mean, Tritechon shouldn't be doing all these experiments and shouldn't be doing all this research, right? Because a lot of it's not ethical, but it does make you wonder, like, what is the limit that we can push? Like, I mean, humanity wouldn't be where it is in Starsector without people making brave like this stuff. But then again, it also ends up in things like the collapse of the domain, and then everything just goes to shit. I mean, for all we know, like, humanity might be thriving outside of this sector as well. Like, we might be living inside this bubble of what we know as the universe, but it might be more stuff out there. Okay, I think we are quite done. No. Can you not like pursue us? No. Yeah, I have to fight this. Just fight this. I mean, our CR is very low for some of these glimmers, but we're just gonna like command them to hug our capital ships. Should be fine. Yeah, I know some of these guys are low. You guys can hug. Some of you will die. It's okay. There's actually another fleet after this as well. I mean, 91% is still pretty acceptable for the onslaught. Honestly, the onslaught is the main damage dealer here. I probably the conquest and the paragon are just there to distract the rest of the enemies. I don't know how much ignoring these actually affect the fight. I think pretty much. I think it does affect it a lot actually. If I kill these now, then they get to spawn like more dangerous enemies like destroyers. I don't want to do that. So we're just gonna allow these to live. Okay, ignore you as well, ignore you as well. Maybe we just don't want to focus our attention on these. We just want to kill things that we actually need to kill. You can get there, you can get here. That should do you good. The onslaught is, I mean, the conquest is really doing well. These destroyers, look, it's already at half flux. Yeah, they have like a temporal shell kind of system. I'm gonna get overloaded. You need to be ignored. You can come up to that flank, and then hopefully you can get there without dying. The fragments are very dangerous, but if we spend time killing them, it's gonna be just worse for us in the long run. We want to just get up here where the mothership is not even here yet. Just want to slowly make our way up, and then get into a position where we can hit the mothership and the spawn ships without moving too much. Alright, I think, yeah, after this battle and maybe the next one, we have to get out of here. Then go do some shrouded stuff. Maybe just one more shrouded battle. I don't actually know what happens if you donate all of these weapons to the Tritech director. Yeah, people told me on Reddit that it's like a future thing where it's not implemented yet. Not sure, to be honest. You guys can go search and destroy. Yeah. So there's the mothership. Yeah, you can get up there. You can get up here as well. How are you doing? Yeah, like, and these kind of like really long fights. I don't think missiles will help, but it's not gonna help against. Nah, it's not gonna help, to be honest. Yeah, at this point you probably run out of half of your missiles already. You are in a huge amount of trouble. Yeah, focus this guy. He's trying to run away. Don't let him run away. He's hiding behind like one of the... Oh, you took a lot of damage. What the? Okay, at least you took one of the motherships down with you. But man, you took a lot of damage, man. Honestly, we might just ignore some of these destroyers behind us. Okay, yeah, you guys need to... Okay, rushing there right now is probably a bad idea. Like, we're probably gonna lose this onslaught if we rush there. There's also another fleet after this. Yeah, they have 2 motherships as well. So we probably have to run. Or like, just rely on this guy. Probably not a good idea to rely on this single. We might just spend a story point to repair everything. What is that? The fragments cause the shields to be up. Yeah, you can go search and destroy now. I don't know whether I think the Paragon can actually still do this fight. If you have like 2 or 3 of them, it can definitely deal out enough sustained damage. You can deal with these frigates as well, provided it's support. Yeah, I mean the auto pulse lasers and everything else, I mean, just so good at killing stuff. It has the range to actually destroy enemies they're trying to flee as well. This is what we want. We want to kill them when they're trying to be killed, so that they actually don't do anything. Yeah, look at that, it's so low on health. Are you in any trouble? You are, however, getting surrounded by frigates. We actually go for you right now. If we go for you, then maybe a good idea is to do the angle. Yeah, but the Onslaught also died. So we have a Conquest left. This Conquest is probably gonna die. It is dying at the moment. So it's all on you. It's all on you. Yeah, it died. Okay. We might lose everything here, but I believe in the Paragon. I mean, to be honest, most of these are just like remnant level threats. They don't actually have anything that charges this Paragon, so... We did lose 2 of our Onslaughts here. Yeah, we're gonna allow them to capture some of these points. We need like a real bit of memory here. Yeah, most of these are like just remnant level threats, except that they don't charge. Now that the mothership is dead, don't actually need to worry about any more enemies coming. We don't have anything more to spawn. That's all. I have to repair for a bit. Then before we head out, we should make sure they're all free. This Paragon has S model expanded magazine, so the auto pulse lasers are pretty much always firing without any downtime. It has enough charges. Expanded magazines on Paragons are really good because the burst lasers will also benefit from the extra charges and the recharge rate. What else? Yeah, I mean heavy needlers just to like, you know, overflux anything that's trying to flank us. And tachyon lancers just to do like the finishing blow. And auto lancers to burn through power like that. And armor. It's a big scan weapon so they deals immediate damage, so can mop up enemies. Or frigates as well, so die very easily to those. Yeah, it's just a really strong build. I guess you can make it... How would you make it better? I don't know, it's actually quite hard to think of anything that's better than this. Like, I guess you can replace the tachyon lancers with something else, because sometimes they're not very useful, but then again, like having tachyon lancers to delete frigates is always so nice. I guess you can replace the auto pulse with plasma cannon, but then you will have to... The point is that your ship will generate way too much flux. The auto pulse is just a very cheap and efficient weapon that deals a lot of burst damage. Yeah, like that. Man, this fight is taking a while. Definitely want auxiliary thrusters on the Paragon. Like the main problem is the turn rate. It doesn't have the ability to turn very quickly, which is his main problem really. Because where these guns are facing is where people will, like enemies will die. Wherever it's facing, they're gonna pretty much die. I mean not like that, but like, even like that. Because the auto lancers have a certain radius. They're being very annoying. They're like staying out of range. It is quite concerning. It should be fine though. There's only like even if he gets overloaded or overflux, I don't think these fragments deal a lot of damage. Yeah, they're being super annoying. They're like hiding out here, out of range where I can't see them. Also, I lost all my glimmers, so there's only one left. Definitely want advanced turret gyro so that you kill these frigates quickly, then you can move on to the next thing. It's not about, you know, like, oh, it's just a 5% or 20% increase in damage. No, it's the fact that you have to kill destroyers and cruisers to get to capitals. Otherwise, they're just gonna like be really annoying. Like, you can focus the capital, but the escorts will just tear you apart. So you need to kill the escorts and then you focus on the capital. Because the capital will be completely alone, then you can surround it and then it's just isolated. Yeah, these guys are being really annoying. They're staying out of range. Like, come here. Okay, we managed to recover all our fluxes. The combination here works really well. Auto pulse lasers to drive out part flux. Then tachyon lenses will be able to burn through, because the tachyon lenses are more effective when the target has very high flux. So the heavy healers and the auto pulse lasers drive the hard flux up. And then once the target is overloaded or whatever, the IR auto lenses and the tachyon lenses just delete the target. Yeah, it's not starting to recover here. Thankfully, a lot of supplies. Yeah, we still haven't seen anything new. No blueprints or anything. Okay, there's way too many supplies. I need to run here. I need to run. Because there's another fleet right behind me. Yeah, I need to run here. I think we're done with farming these guys. We have, you know, quite a lot of weapons, I would say. Oh, this I've never seen before. Neutron torpedo. It's a small missile and it's limited ammo. I don't think the AI does a very good job with like these kind of weapons. Like a lot of the time it just hits shields. Does this actually hit shield? It does. So it does a lot of damage to shields. 5,000, that's enough to overload pretty much like a lot of ships. It's a small missile though. Anti-shield, okay. Voltaic discharge, this is a point defense weapon. Oh, but it requires the fragment swarm. Yeah, a lot of these require, I mean some of these require the fragment swarm. This one also requires it. This one also requires it. Okay, let's go and escape this if we can. Oh, we're facing the freaking wrong way. There might be another ship here as well. This is why you have burn 20. Yeah, they can't catch us. I don't think any of these enemies can catch us. So let's just repair a bit. Actually, let's get out of here. I think we're done with this. Oh, you gotta be shitting me. Yeah, how much burn do they have? Level 8. Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. Just don't want to run into any more of these. It's just gonna jump out. We didn't mark this system, right? But we're gonna mark it now. Yeah. So that we can come back here in the future. Alright. Do we want to farm any more shrouded enemies? I mean, we don't only have one of this. Should we just go back? I think we can go back. Yeah, I mean, some of these items could be rare as well. Just go back right now. What is this? This is another well. This might be another well. That's just nothing. Okay, meanwhile, things are happening here. Yeah, upgrade to battle station. I might just install AI cores now so that I can do the hegemony one. Then I'll be done with all the colony crisis. What else do I have left? Nah, it's just a Gemini. Yes, that's the only thing left. Yeah, this is like an enemy. Okay. So it seems like, whoa, that's pretty close to the edge here. Hyperspace Abyssal. Can you actually do this here like that? Yeah, a lot of these are actually very close to the edge of the map. Look at this, we found another one of this. There's also an... Yeah, I found another one of this. There's actually a ship here. And there's 2 planets here. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I've never seen this before. This is a tri-tech vessel. They follow. Oh, there might be something in here that causes the enemy to attack. There's something shielded in the ship's hold. Wait, we don't see it here. Can we do more salvage? No, we can't. Let's survey this. They follow, it says. So why can't we get that thing in your ship? There doesn't seem to be any enemies here. Yeah, this place looks clear to me. Oh wait, we should totally like mark this planet as well. And you. Actually, we should just mark the giant, that's all. Yeah, we'll check out a bit more stuff and then let's see. Yeah, probably nothing, right? It's very annoying. They follow, it says. So like what? They follow me? Or they follow you? Or maybe that was the ghost that was trying to follow us. We don't know. There's something else here. It's not a light. It's another gravity well. Yeah, let's just save the game quickly. I don't want to fight any more of these enemies, but we're just gonna like... Right, these wells are the ones that can contain enemies, because there's no planets in them, it seems like. Oh, there is a planet here. There's actually nothing here. Yeah, I think I'm like pretty much done. Just want to do some farming. It's a lot of effort. You probably need to install a mod so that you can farm it a lot faster. So I guess you can do a trick like this, where you're not in the hyperspace. Let's say you're like in normal space. You can actually still use the active this thing. Yeah, so we're like at the very edge, right? You can see we can do this, and then that should reveal some stuff in this space. Yeah, so these ghosts are like following me. So there's something going on with the ghost and all of these things. Also, I pressed the wrong button there. So they follow, it says. Yeah, they're definitely following me. Alright, okay, fine, follow me then. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, if it's just another boss, then yeah, fine. It's probably an enemy. No, it's not. Yeah, they're following me, alright. This has to be an enemy, right? Yeah, I mean... Yeah. Let's go with the number 2 option. So you guys get deployed first, and then we'll deploy you. Honestly, the Conquest is just so useless right now. Just a huge... It's like basically a Sunder right now. It's like a glass cannon that can't do anything. Let's give you 4 escorts. I don't think that will be enough, but oh well. No, you guys need to like search and destroy. We don't want to actually defend this. We want you to escort this. Yeah, so these guys don't have officers. They don't have any AI cores in them. I have only 1 armor I saw in the logs. I didn't even take a look at those things. Yeah, this will be the last fight. I mean, it's really quite addictive to constantly search for these things. They follow. I wonder what other stuff is in the abyss. Like, I mean, we saw the Tritech exploration fleet. We must be really like this legendary spacer, like, you know, the stuff that we can do, right? People must think that we are a legend. Like, the Tritechion director told us that basically she sent hundreds of, like, I mean, dozens of crews out here, and they all didn't come back, and we are the only one that's able to come back, not only once but multiple times, and bring back the weapons. So it must be really like John Helldiver or something. Yeah, these guys are not needed for the fight. Don't even know what you guys are here for. This is just a level 2 fight. It's pretty okay, I guess. Even the level 3, I mean the easiest one, might be very hard for a fleet that isn't very good. The stronger dwellers are very strong against frigates. So like, I guess bringing frigates is a bit of a waste, really. Like, these guys could become another, like what, another onslaught or something. I think onslaughts are really good. I mean the regular onslaught, not this one. Yeah, it's just good. Yeah, it's just like whatever. Oh, this is actually, no, it's nothing. Alright, let's get out here. Where's the nearest gate system? Oh, it's right here. Okay. We survived. Well, we got pretty close to dying at some point, where we got surrounded by multiple fleets. We did save scum because we wanted to see if we can fight multiple fleets at the same time, but it can't apparently. It would have been cool if that was the case though, like fighting 3 or 4 motherships that can't spawn anything because the deployment point is really full. That would be very fun. Also, yeah, kinda like going off course. Okay, let's get the heck out of here. I kind of regret a bit, like, probably should have done a small map instead. The amount of time that's needed to survey everything is pretty insane. Like, we've surveyed pretty much, like, look at this. We've surveyed, like, let's just start from the top here. Everything here has been surveyed. Same here. The only, so we went all the way here. I mean, everything at the bottom here is all surveyed, except for like this system, and yeah, this is all surveyed. Most of them they are not surveyed, are close to the core worlds. So yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, right? We found 3 level 7 officers by doing all the surveying. So these 3 are the ones that we found. So these two are the exact copy of one another. They all have the same skills. This one is the one that's different. So instead of impact mitigation, he has systems expertise, and instead of honors expertise, he has energy weapon mastery. That's the only difference. Yeah. Okay, we are here. Let's go back to our base here. Honestly, I set up the colony mainly because I just wanted some passive income, and it was just the easiest planet to colonize on. Yeah, but it doesn't have a gate system. I really feel like you need to have a gate system. Okay, the gates are so convenient. Okay. Yeah, this colony is struggling because it's very far away. It's in isolation. Hostile fleet, just fight me. Alright. Let's take a look at some stuff here. Okay. So we have 48 of these fragment things. This is for the hull mod fragment storm, which we already have unlocked. Actually, there's a bunch of locked entries here. I might need to fight more of those. I might just spoil myself and read the forums as well. So far, I heard that this is not worth it. The reduction in combat readiness for S modding, this is also... Oh yeah, it requires a fragment fabricator. So this is the item that we need for that. Yeah, but we don't know what this is. A basic modular yeah, we don't know what this is. I mean, there's still a bunch of locked entries here. Yeah, these ones we are pretty clear on. Shrouded. Shrouded mantle. Yeah, it just allows the ship to jump away from danger. Then this one, shrouded lens, it basically is like, it sounds to me like a bit of an indiscriminate weapon. Yeah, cause it deals it randomly. So I guess it's a point defense, kind of like a point defense weapon. Yeah, it functions even if the ship is overloaded or fluxed. It's a pretty good point. It's basically a point defense weapon that can work even though your ship is overfluxed. Shrouded Thunderhead. Right, so this one is the one that basically generates lightning. Okay, let's just save the game here, and then we're gonna try out some of these. Actually, we don't have to save the game. We can try some of this in the simulator. So let's try with you. Let's see what this thing does. Where is the shrouded? I wish they can have like a filter as well. Shrouded lens. Let's do this one. We're just gonna fight a bunch of... What's a good target to fight? Something that doesn't die very easily. Yeah, let's fight remnants here. So let's just fight like a bunch of you. Okay, let's see what does this do. So there's like a cloud. Okay. Wait. What does this actually do again? I don't know. I have to check after I end this. After I finish this battle. Shrouded lens, right? So this is the one that basically deals lightning damage whenever it hits something. Why are you not firing? Now you're firing. I can't actually see the lightning. Is it lightning? It's too hard to tell. I haven't really seen it. Like, I mean, it looks cool. Like, he has a cloud and stuff. right helm mod? What is this? Shrouded lens. The lens focuses on nearby objects. Oh, okay. So let's just fight our carriers then. Right, because I think that would work. Yeah, let's just bring like 4 Astrals here. So they should be launching fighters, then apparently the lens will hit things at random. Yeah, so the fighters are coming in. I don't actually want you to kill the Astrals. Ah, yeah, you can see here the lightning is actually hitting them. Doesn't do a lot of damage. Can you like get out? This seems quite random. Oh yeah, it destroys fighters. The range of this is pretty short though. I won't say it's a good hull mod. Yeah, the range is pretty short. I mean, it didn't do anything for this Atrocos like wave there. Those bombers got through. Yeah, I mean, okay. Just don't kill the Astrals. We just want to test like what this thing does. So it's kind of like a point defense weapon, really. But it doesn't seem to do a good job at it. Like, the fast missiles still hit. Yeah, and cause it's like a random thing, right? Like, it might miss a Reaper when it's trying to target something like a fighter. Yeah, see, okay. Yeah, it's kind of like an okay point defense. You basically spend 25 points on getting a point defense. And it generates flux. 300 a second. Okay, but this works even though the ship is overloaded. I mean, I don't really find why this is useful though. Yeah, so the lens is a bit like, it's a bit meh. It doesn't actually show the range of this, which is a bit annoying, but yeah. Shrouded Mantle, the ship will attempt to recoil away from danger when taking substantial, so it needs to take hull damage in order to activate this. Hungering Rift. I believe Hungering Rift is the missile. It's like the weapon here. Yeah, we do have the Shrouded Mantle. Yeah, Hungering Rift is I believe it's a weapon. Let me just check very quickly. Weapons, right? Yeah, weapons. Hungering Rift. Yeah, this is this one, Hungering Rift. So this is a missile that's very slow, but when it hits, it actually heals one of the entities here. Do I have the rift with me? No, it's on the other planet. Okay, fine. Let's go and equip the rift. I want to see what it actually does. It should be here. Okay. Yeah, we got the rift here. So let's equip this rift. Oh, it's a missile, yeah. Hungering Rift, and then we equip this hull mod. Shrouded Mantle. Oh, we need S mod this. Well, that sucks. Okay, fine. Let's just equip 2 of these because we have 2 of those, and then we're gonna fight a bunch of onslaughts and see what happens. So you also have this cloud thing. Yeah, the Luddic Church and the Luddic Path don't like this. Yeah, see this missile? It's so slow. It gets destroyed very easily. And the effect of the missile only activates when it's killed. Seems like. because of like how slow it is. Shrouded Dweller projections. Okay, let's try this one. I'm very curious because if I put a Storm Needler here, right, it means that I fire a lot of shots. So does it mean that the lightning hits the target every time the Storm Needler bullet hits an enemy? So it's a probability-based system where it increases with the number of landed hits. I mean, is it really worth 25 points? It's added DPS, but actually we should try this on another ship. Like not the yeah, let's try it on like say don't actually have a ship here that's a good example. What if we put it on you? What happens then? Right, so we're gonna get rid of this. Then we're gonna put this mod, Thunder Hit. Right, and then we're gonna put Squalls on you. Oh, I can't actually, yeah, fine, let's just put Hurricane. Then we're gonna allow you to fight like this guy. Actually, you know what, let's remove your fighter base because you might probably one-shot this venture here. The new tridents are very strong, yeah, so we have hurricanes. So does it mean that when the hurricane hits, it's not activated by beam weapons, we know that much. Yeah, so one piece of lightning hit the ship there. Based on the number of hits that the missiles, we hit like maybe 10 or 12 missiles and then we got one lightning hit. So it does 500 damage and a lot of EMP. I mean, it's just extra DPS really. If you have like weapons that basically hit the enemy multiple times, I guess like that can work as well. Let's just put it on you, right? Let's just say I put like Devastator, yeah, fine. Let's just put Devastator cannons. Then I put it under hit. And then what's a really tanky enemy but it's really like useless? Yeah, fine. Let's just go with this one. Decently tanky. Let's see like how much damage this thing does. He only has one Devastator cannon. Does it work when the Devastator cannon hits this ship? Or even the fighters? Why are you not fighting back? Yeah, you are firing. Maybe putting a point defense weapon here is a bad idea. Let's just do like yeah, fine, let's just do like 1 Mjolnir What does this actually like? Is it even worth the DPS? I mean the honest points is my question. So it's supposed to deal a lightning bolt every time a shot hits. I mean, not every time, but it's supposed to fire lightning at the enemy, and oh my goodness, he has reverse. You're gonna lose to this. Maybe fighting with carriers is a bad idea. Should probably do something like a bit easier instead of like doing all those carriers. I mean, what's easy here? This should be easy. Athletic path. Yeah, fine. No, you have fighters. Something that's okay. We can fight against this. Yeah, enforcer. It should be a relatively easy enemy that can't really deal a lot of damage to us, but we can still like fire back at it. So yeah, it's hitting the enemy, and then there was one lightning bolt. Man, this thing is not worth it at all. You need to, first of all, you need to hit the enemy. And then you actually, like, it's not gonna fire like lightning based on, it's only gonna fire it based on a percentage, like a probability. Yeah, it's not worth it at all. And it doesn't trigger for weapons that deal soft flux, which is like pretty much your beam weapons. Things that deal soft flux. What else deals soft flux? Nah, it's just mostly beams. Well, there are missiles as well that deal soft flux damage, like the Hydra, but I mean, I'm not gonna pay like 25 points just to get a probability to fire lightning. Yeah, I mean, it is extra damage, but this is a mod that you put when you're winning, and it allows you to win more. But you want HAL mods that allow you to turn a battle that's unwinnable into something winnable. Like we're talking like HAL mods that literally change, like, I mean, that really affect how you play. Like for example, getting accelerated shields, because that means that you can, like, it means that you can basically not go with such a heavy point defense build on Paragons because you have accelerated shields that can cover your entire ship. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see why this would be useful when other HAL mods are so important, like integrated targeting unit. Like, why would you ever take this against that? Doesn't make any sense to me. The mantle is, well, I've actually never seen this in action. Let's actually yeah, so you have weapons. Let's strip all the weapons from you. Then we're just gonna give you like a really mediocre weapon, like a mining blaster. Then we're gonna equip this HAL mod on you and then see whether you can actually retreat in battle and how far you can do this. Yeah, okay, fine. Then you're gonna find Onslaught. Yeah, I guess for all the shrouded HAL mods, you get this like weird cloud around your ship. So obviously this guy is gonna take a lot of damage. Then we're gonna see like how... Yeah, I'll go fight that. Let me just pilot this myself. It's not actually doing what I'm like trying to do. Oh wow, this is actually pretty useful. Does it? How short is the cooldown? Yeah, I don't have my shields on. I'm just taking damage here. Does it actually have a cooldown? Yeah, I took a Reaper and now it pushes me back. Okay, I wish you could see the cooldown of this. This would be actually pretty useful. This will be useful on ships like, say, the Conquest or even Onslaught. Honestly, any general ship, even like Paragon will be useful. Being able to shoot in battles like this, it might be worth it. It's only 15 points. And then when it retreats, it actually heals when it's using that missile. I mean, when other ships are using that missile or whatever. So it actually heals when it's retreating. Interesting, interesting. There we have the fragment stuff. Yeah, so this hull mod is required for the fragments to work. Like the fragment weapons. Yeah. I mean, it's 30 points though. Just to use a weapon, that's very excessive. And the fragment weapons will be disabled. Doesn't that suck? Yeah, Seeker fragment requires the fragments. It uses 10 fragments per shot. I mean, 2000 range is pretty insane for like a small missile. There is one item here. Oh yeah, we do have a lot of substrate. There is one item here that's really interesting, which is this one. The Abyssal Glare. So this is like the large energy weapon. It has a very slow turn rate, so you want to use this for hard points. Perfect accuracy. It's a beam weapon, and it deals it doesn't deal hard flux damage, but it produces explosions. So these explosions are, some of them can destroy fighters and stuff. Yeah, I do have a Paragon that has this built into the Paragon where I use this, but 30 ordnance points is very expensive for a weapon like this. It does work decently well against like frigates and destroyers because those ones usually don't have a lot of good flux. So this would be useful against them somewhat. But yeah, like I mean, my general impression is just that this is a very expensive large energy slot. It is a beam weapon, so it's hit scan, but yeah, I don't know. Rift Lightning. This is the medium energy one. This weapon is pretty good because it can pass over friendly ships. So you can have this on your ships and they'll be able to fire this over the others. Yeah. So this one is the anti-shield medium slot. So it's kind of like the, I don't know. Did I try this on my Paragon? I think I might have tried this one on my Paragon. Like replace the heavy needler with this. My impression wasn't very good about it. Do I actually have that weapon here? It's this one? No, it's not this one. This is like the Hyper Velocity Driver wannabe. Where is the weapon actually? I might not have it here. Anti-shield. Yeah, this is the one. Wait, is it? No, it wasn't shield. It was something else. Yeah, I'll take some time to look around at the weapons and try it out for myself, see whether some are good. I did try the Hungering Rift. My impressions weren't very good about it. It's 18 points, but it doesn't feel like it does enough. The missile is so slow. A lot of ships can avoid the projectile. Yeah. So what else is there to talk about really? So this is the lens, right? This is the mantle, and this is the thunder hit. Yeah, they don't really seem worth it in my opinion. Some of the weapons are pretty okay. Like they are pretty impressive. Like I know the small ballistic ones are pretty decent. That's Omega. This is the small missile. Small missile. Small point defense. Yeah, like this one, the light mass driver. This one is actually decent. Yeah. It has 0.67 flux per damage. So it's very efficient on the flux. It doesn't have any charge based system, so it just works. Relatively good refire delay, so it can keep firing. But yeah, general impression is that nothing here is really overpowered, I would say. Rift lens, okay. Seeker fragment. Fragment swarm. Oh, that's the hull mod that I don't have at the moment, I believe. Yeah, it's called fragment swarm. I mean, it says right there. Right, I don't think I have this. Oh, it's right here. What am I talking about? Yeah, so this is basically a fix for like how fast you can relaunch. I mean, how quickly you can relaunch fragments. I mean, I don't really think why this will be very useful. But yeah, anyways, like, you know, we farm some stuff. We have 38 substrate here. What else is there to talk about? Actually, no, that's not 38. I mean, yeah, we have 38. But yeah, I think we might have not seen all the abyssal content yet. Like there's some blueprints maybe are missing, and probably like some other thing going on. But yeah. Well, I think this is probably it for the stream. Before I go, what else is there I wanted to talk about? Yeah, not really. Yeah, the automated ships with a strong feed anchor has been doing quite well. Then alright, see you guys in the next stream.